do you suppose she wants?
Well, it ain't time for vittles.
Well, let's find out.
Hey, Uncle Jed, it's that time of year. Maybe she wants to give us a tonic.
Maybe, maybe not.
Hey, I'll bet that's it. She wants to dose us.
So, who's afraid of a little sulfur and molasses? Me.
Everybody in the parlor.
He's here, Granny.
I suppose you're all wondering why I asked you here today.
I ain't.
Hush up. As you know, I've been a doctor in the service of mankind for nigh on to 70 years now.
That's right, Granny.
I'll say.
70 years of healing and giving of myself, bringing babies into the world, setting bones, mixing medicine, curing colds, making poultices, healing warts, rheumatiz, summer complaints, chilblains, hives.
Folks is mighty grateful to you, Granny.
Jed, Jethro, Nellie Mae, I'm giving up my practice of medicine. I'm taking in my shingle.
Hot dog! No more sulfur and molasses.
Granny, how come you want to quit doctoring?
Can't tell you, Jed. I just know I gotta do it.
Well, who's going to take care of us?
I thought of that. Sit down. I may have to go back home, but I just can't leave you in this miserable city of Beverly Hills without one single trained doctor.
Granny, there's more doctors here than you can shake a stick at.
So I've decided to train one of you to carry on the traditions of the hypocrite's oath.
Well, don't keep looking at me, Granny. I decided I don't want to be a brain surgeon. I want to be a soda jerk.
And I want to be a veterinarian. Take care of critters.
Well, the choice is yours to make.
Thank you, Granny.
Yeah, thanks, Gran.
And the choice is to learn doctrine or get took to the woodshed.
But, Granny...
Never mind what, Granny.
Hi, Dame.
Hello, Mr. Clampett.
How do you do, Mr. Clampett?
Howdy, Miss Jean.
What can I do for you?
Well, it's about Granny and her doctrine.
Shh, not so loud.
Is Granny practicing again?
Well, no, that's what I want to talk to you about. She's giving it up.
Oh, that's a shame. We're going to miss her stump water and slippery elmoos and all those other wonderful medicines.
Yes, but after all those years of service, she does deserve a rest.
Well, that ain't what she's going home for.
Going home? You mean back to the hills?
Yeah, she's wanting to take her share of the money.
Money? She can't think of all those millions of people out here that need her.
Well, they ain't exactly been breaking down the door. Anyway, she wants to go home and go into research.
Research?
Yeah, she wants to devote the rest of her life to finding a cure for freckles.
Cure for what?
Freckles. Oh, I reckon that ain't the real reason, but that's all I could get her to say.
Well, surely something can be done to keep her here.
I don't know what. Her mind is set. Quick as one of the young'uns learns enough doctoring to take over, she's gone. So I just come over to give you a little head start to getting her share of the money together. Jethro Seifert had come to about 16 million. No! Oh, one good thing. I did talk her out of taking it all home in silver.
Wonderful.
She'll settle for gold dust.
Granny goes. Mr. Clampett will soon follow. Research? Freckle cure? Why could she be going?
If I may offer an unemotional analysis based on my first-hand objective observation...
Just spit it out.
Well, I think this has been brought on by her having no one to doctor. She misses feeling useful and needed.
Yes, that's probably it. Well, why didn't you do something?
Chief, I could hardly be expected to solicit patients for an unlicensed granny doctor.
Wait a minute. We still have a chance. She would never run out on a sick friend.
Chief, I could never deceive Granny with a fake illness.
Who's talking about a fake? I'm only asking you to take a mild poison or break a bone or something. Look, I could drop this on your foot. Isn't your company loyalty good for one little fracture? Was even gonna autograph her cast.
Now pay attention, young'uns. I got a lot of doctrine to learn yet.
Here's my patient.
Good. In a couple of days, you'll know more medicine than any of these city pill pushers.
Well, how come you ain't gonna doctor no more?
Don't ask, child. It's a secret. Now I'm going to learn you more bandages. I wish I had a human being to show you on instead of old Duke. You and Jethro would see some fancy wrappings.
Well, maybe we can find somebody.
I'm back from the bank.
Get Duke off the bed.
File these, please, Miss Hathaway. Oh, it's warm in here. Better turn up the air conditioning.
Oh, see, please, no more.
Why not? Well, don't tell me you're cold.
I'm freezing. I'm gonna get pneumonia.
Oh, good girl. And when you do, I know just the doctor for you. She'll get you right in, no waiting.
Dr. Clyburn.
What are you running here, a frozen food locker?
Hello, boy.
Why have you got it so cold, Milburn?
Cold? Well, what makes you think it's cold?
Well, for one thing, that. Now turn it off.
Oh, all right.
This girl's probably suffering from exposure.
Get your feet-grabbing hands off her. She already has a doctor.
All right, then what did he get me over here for?
Come into my office. I remembered last week you were around trying to raise $8 million for a new charity clinic.
Don't tell me you're going to cough up a donation. You suffer from chronic constriction of the wallet.
Roy, how would you like all $8 million in one nice, neat little check?
All of it? Well, if you could arrange that, I might even learn to like you.
Sit down, Roy.
No strings attached?
Well, there's just one little thread. Sit down.
All right, I'm finished.
Granny, you promised if I did this, you'd only show him one bandage.
It is one bandage. Starts here and it ends there.
What's it called, Granny?
This is called my general purpose bandage. If you ain't sure what's wrong with your patient, it generally takes care of it.
Jethro, get me out of here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Jed, please stay here. I got a lot of bandage to learn these youngins yet.
You can show him on Duke. Now unwrap me.
Oh, all right.
This whole thing is a bunch of nonsense. Learning somebody to take your place just so you can find a cure for freckles?
Jed, I gotta do what I gotta do. Here, youngins, grab hold of this end and yank, not too fast. Last time I unwound one of these, Aunt Tilly went spinning right into the slough.
Are you kidding? You want me to go up and ask Granny for advice on how to practice medicine? Even among witch doctors, she's a quack.
I'm not asking you to follow the advice. Just listen to her. Make her feel important and needed.
You've spent too much time in that cold office. You've got frostbite of the brain.
Roy, she'll go back to the hills.
I would love nothing better. I've had too many run-ins with that unlicensed, untrained queen of the voodoos. Goodbye, Milburn.
Roy, I'm begging you.
Forget it.
All right. But I can't forget the sick and suffering you're depriving of a bed in the Clyburn Charity Clinic.
Who charity clinic?
If you help me, I can arrange for Jed Clapper to donate the entire $8 million you need, and he won't care what you name the clinic.
That means it would be completed 1 year sooner. No, not with Granny. No, I'll do it.
Thank you, Roy.
But I'm only doing it so the sick and needy will get help that much sooner. Don't think it's so I can call it the Clyburn Charity Clinic. Of course, it does have a nice ring to it.
Jed, please come back and help me. I've got a lot to learn them youngins, Jed.
Granny, once and for all, I want you to tell the truth why you're quitting doctoring and going back to the hill.
Well, I got a lot of research to do, and they got everything I need back there.
You don't give two shucks about curing freckles.
No, but there's something I gotta work on.
What?
Don't make me tell you.
Granny?
All right. I gotta discover a cure for a brand new ailment.
How come?
'Cause I think I got it.
You do?
It ain't in none of the books, so I get to name it. I'm calling it Granny's Complaint.
How long you had it?
Well, I first noticed it about 20 years ago. And I've been going downhill ever since.
You should have said something. What's the symptom?
Well, to start off with, my hearing ain't what it used to be. And my eyes is getting weaker. My rheumatism is worse, and I can't run as fast as I used to. I get chilled easier, and my joints are stiff in the morning.
Granny, all them things is happening to me, too.
It's catching.
Of course it's catching. It's old age.
Not old age, it's Granny's complaint. I discovered it, I get to name it.
Call it what you want to. It's nothing more than getting on in years.
Jed, you've always had a good head on you, but leave the diagnosing to us medical people.
Funny, the last time I felt like this was just before they landed us at Guadalcanal. How do you do, Mr. Clampett?
Dr. Clyburn, this is a surprise.
I suppose it is. I came to see Granny.
Oh, well, I don't know. She ain't in one of her very best moods, and at best, you two get along about as good as two dogs with only one bone.
I didn't come to fight with her, Mr. Clampett. I came to ask her advice.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid that, Ask her what?
Well, I need some medical advice.
Oh, well, that's different. I'll tell her. You better wait out here until I talk to her. Sometimes Granny starts shooting before she finds out what flag you're flying.
I thought I heard you talking out there.
You did, and you will never guess who's waiting outside to see you.
Who?
Dr. Clyburn.
Clyburn! Oh, he's after me. That gourd-headed city sawbones. Keep him out on the porch. I'll go upstairs and drop my chest of drawers on him.
Oh, Granny, he's here to ask your advice.
In a pig's eye, it's a trick.
No, he's standing out there humble as a skinny mule.
All right. But one wrong move out of him and he's gonna have a nose full of knuckles.
Come in, Dr. Clyburn. Here's Granny.
Hello, Granny.
Howdy. Now, state your business. I'm in a hurry.
Granny, I realized this morning that I have been too hasty in not taking advantage of having close at hand one with such great experience and knowledge.
Go on.
So I've come over hoping to spend some time with you and get some general medical advice.
The dickens, you say. Did you hear that, Jed?
I got to admire you, Doctor.
What for? He should have been here 4 years ago. Now I ain't got time to mess with him.
You don't?
No. I gotta go back to the hills.
Oh, please don't go, Granny. This means an awful lot to me.
Well, you are some kind of a doctor, and my oath says that I gotta help you out if I can. So I guess I can spare you a little time.
Thank you, Granny.
Dr. Granny?
Dr. Granny.
Just what is it you want to know?
I'm not quite sure yet.
All right, I'll see what you're lacking. How do you treat spotted gimple?
Spotted Gimple?
Well, what do you do with purple drowsies? How about critic, bloat, angry gizzard, drench, the goose eye?
Perhaps I know them by their scientific names.
Them is the scientific name.
You better sort of start from scratch.
Maybe I'd better.
Well, I ain't got time for private tutoring. You'll have to go in the class with Jethro and Ellie Mae. Go on upstairs, third door to the right, and sit in the back of the class.
Where you going, Miss Hathaway?
Chief, it's 110 in here. If you won't let me turn the heat down, I'm leaving.
Not until your coffee break.
I'm suffering from heat exhaustion.
Oh, that's awful. Now, come on, I'll take you right up to Dr. Granny.
Give up. You can't get me sick enough to go to her for treatment.
Why not? Nothing possibly can happen to you. Dr. Clyburn is up there.
It's for charity. $8 million. Charity. $8 million.
Now we're going to take up anatomy.
$1 million.
Pay attention. About here is your gizzard.
know it's against the law to set up your still in Beverly Hills?
It's against the law to make corn squeezers. This is my granny's complaint cure.
Granny, I told you everybody's gonna have Granny's complaint along about age 65.
That's why I ain't taking the time to go home to find a cure. Case is an epidemic.
While you're at it, I found 2 more symptoms.
You have?
Yeah, gray hair and wrinkles.
It ain't old age, I told you that. And the whole world's gonna thank me when I find a cure.
Well, leastways, I'm glad you give up trying to train the young'uns to take over for you.
Well, it would have took too long to learn Ellie and Jethro.
That's right.
That's why I picked Dr. Clyburn.
What'd he have to say on it?
Well, I was just about to go tell him. He's in the kitchen, learning to make my skunk root dyspepsy potion. Dr. Clyburn, Roy?
Oh, hello, Granny. Dr. Granny.
I got some good news for you.
Good news?
I've been watching you, and I decided that you're the one to take over my practice.
Your practice?
This here is my patient file. Take good care of them.
Oh, but I...
Don't thank me. Just take it.
You have this many patients?
Well, to tell the truth, I ain't caught on too well out here. Jed, Jethro, Ellie Mae. That's about it.
Granny, why are you doing this?
I suppose I'll have to tell you. Sit down. Now keep this a secret. I ain't as well as I look.
What's wrong with you?
It don't matter. What matters is I got to find a cure for it.
Well, if you tell me about it, I'm sure I can help you.
Roy, you've got talent. But for a young fella, you're awful cocky. Over that fire out yonder, I got cooking every root, berry, powder, potion, known to medical science. How are you going to beat that?
Well, for one thing, have you tried penicillin?
Penicillin? What's that?
It's a drug. We get it from bread mold.
Roy, you've got to forget them home remedies.
It is not a home remedy. Haven't you heard of streptomycin, aureomycin, cortisone?
Roy, you come to me for advice, and I'm giving it to you. Forget them quack medicines. Stick with modern science. Your stump waters, your slippery elm ooze, cocoon root, and them wonder drugs like sassafras and wahoo bark.
All right, Granny. You know best.
Oh, the dyspepsy medicine. You done ruined the potion.
I mix everything in there you told me. I put the lid on the kettle.
On the kettle, it should be in it. This pewter takes the bite out of the mixture. Too late. It's done turned.
This will never work. Everyone will know you're faking.
What else am I going to do? You let me down. I can't depend on Clyburn to keep her here.
I categorically deny
Now,
that I
don't
have...
start that again. Just drive back and try to round up some sick people for Granny. If you have to, hit a couple of pedestrians.
I'll get it, Ellie.
Well, let me get it.
Mr. Drysdale.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not sure. Is Dr. Granny here?
Well, I think she's out back. I'll run and fetch her.
Ellie, wait a minute. We know a heap of doctoring after this morning. Let's surprise Granny and give him a little of that there first aid.
We don't know what's wrong with him.
Ellie, you sure ain't too bright. It's a perfect time for that there general purpose bandage.
Don't worry now, Mr. Drysdale. Everything's gonna be all right.
Annie, where's Dr. Clyburn? I just come from the kitchen. He ain't there.
I told him to pack his little black bag and move along. I ain't got no more time to mess with him.
I thought he was the one going to take over your practice.
I couldn't trust my family to a superstitious quack like him. Why, his favorite medicine is moldy bread.
Still be living in the dark ages. Whatever it is you're cooking here, it sure is putting out the fumes.
It's my first try at a cure, Jed. Dripping through over yonder. 30 or 40 more batches, and I may have found what's going to rid the world of Granny's complaint.
Well, even if you don't, you have hit upon a surefire way of taking the leaves off trees.
What are you going to do with me? Where's Dr. Granny?
Take it easy, Mr. Drysdale. You're going to be just fine. All right now, nurse.
Why ain't you a nurse?
Look, I'll be the doctor today. Tomorrow you can have a turn. All right, now I prescribe a great big domper of sulfur and molasses. I'll get that. You go on down and heat up some of that crow soup. Now, you stay right there, Mr. Drysdale. We'll be right back. Oh, howdy, Dr. Clyburn. Go on in and see how we fix Mr. Drysdale.
You mean Milburn Drysdale is in there?
Oh, yes, sir. And if you don't mind, we took the case.
Milburn, do you know what you got me into?
Don't tell me your troubles. Look what I've gotten myself into.
And it's all for nothing. Granny is not going back to the hills.
She not?
No, so that'll be $8 million.
Later. Help me get out of this before Granny sees me.
All right, now what about my $8 million?
Come on, we'll take your car.
Remember, Jethro, tomorrow you're the nurse.
Well, why don't we trade off every other week? I'm getting to like this doctor and stuff.
Looky, Jethro, Dr. Clyburn's done cured Mr. Drysdale.
What do you mean? That was my general purpose bandage. These hands, they was meant for healing. I got the gift.
Jed, I done it. Come quick. Jed, I found the cure, Jed.
What's the matter, Granny?
Jed, I found the cure, and on the first batch, I've cured Granny's complaint.
Granny, there ain't no cure for Granny's complaint.
There is now. It took care of all of my symptoms. I'm even seeing twice as good as I ever did before.
Twice as far?
Twice as many. There's two of everything. I'm even hearing bells I never did hear ring before.
There ain't no bells ringing.
That's because you ain't had none of my cure. The pains have all gone out of my joints. Instead of chills, I got a nice, warm feeling all over. My rheumatiz has plumb disappeared. I feel like a young'un again.
Too bad. Come morning, she's in for one humdinger of a relapse.
Uncle Jed, are you going to let Ellie keep that beaver?
Why?
Because that rascal took all of my firewood and built a dam across a cement pond.
I'm afraid that's the nature of the critter.
But Granny wanted me to start a fire under her kettle out back so she could cook applesauce. But now the firewood's wet.
Kind of think Granny's changed her mind. I just seen her coming out of her room and she was all gussied up to a fairly well.
Bet she's fixing to see Mr. Farquhar.
She has kind of perked up since he come to town.
Jethro, did you get the fire going under my applesauce kettle?
No, ma'am.
Well, get out and get at it.
But Granny, the wood's wet.
Well, build a fire and dry it out.
Hey, that's a good idea. Thank you.
I declare, Jed, that boy.
Hey, Granny, if the wood's wet, how can I start a...
Get!
Granny, you're mighty fancied up for applesauce making, ain't you?
Well, the smell of it cooking generally brings a neighbor or two.
Like Mr. Farquhar?
Who?
Miss Drysdale Paul.
Oh. Oh, the old gentleman from Boston. Is he still visiting next door?
Reckon he is, seeing as how we only got here yesterday.
Uh-huh. Warm up your coffee?
Thank you. He seems to be a gentleman of high quality.
Who's that?
Mr. Farquhar?
You still talking about him?
Well, I was, but I can change the subject. I see by the news that we're having an unusual warm spell. Weatherman says it might last through the week.
I hear he's a widower.
Who's that?
Lowell. Mr. Farquhar, whatever his name is.
That's it. Lowell Redlings Farquhar. That's a grand name, isn't it?
I suppose so. So we're in for a warm spell, are we?
That's what the weatherman says. Matter of fact, Ellie Mae's in swimming.
I bet he ain't used to it being so warm.
Mr. Farquhar?
Now, there you go again. Just can't stay on one subject, can you?
Well, Milburn, how would you like to invest some money?
In what?
I have a little property up in Las Vegas.
You have property in Las Vegas?
Yes, one of the hotels there is holding my suitcase.
Forget it. Now, look, you stay away from Las Vegas. They'll only take you to the cleaners again.
Ah, no, not this time. I've worked out a system. All I need is financing, and I'll make a killing.
You leaving so soon, Milburn?
Yes, I have to be getting to the office.
Yeah, I'll be down to see you later, Milburn. We'll discuss a little financial business.
Oh, Milburn, what an honor. Daddy very seldom lowers himself to discuss money. You should be deeply touched.
I'm sure I will be.
Daddy, it's so kind of you to let Milburn's bank handle your transactions.
Well, if I'm going to give someone the business, it might as well be Milburn. Margaret, what is it? Do you smell smoke?
Yes. Oh, it's those dreadful Clampetts. They built a fire beside the swimming pool again.
What for?
Oh, Granny is always cooking some vile thing out there. Soap or sorghum.
$50 million and she makes her own soap?
They don't spend their money. Have you noticed Ellie Mae?
Oh, yes.
Have you noticed how she runs around in those faded old blue jeans?
Yes. Tight, aren't they?
What?
Tight. No, as you say, they don't spend their money.
I'm going over there and demand that they extinguish that fire immediately.
No, Margaret, no. You're too much of a lady. This calls for a man. I'll go over and speak with him.
That's brave of you, Daddy. But they're such boorish, illiterate people. I don't know how much of them you'll be able to take.
Well, you have my assurance, dear, that I'll take as much as I can.
Daddy.
See you later.
Okay, you sure look pretty. Is that a new hat?
Of course not. This is the hat I wore when your grandpa proposed to me.
Morning, Mr. Farquhar.
Hello, Jethro. Well, good morning, beautiful. How's the water?
It'll be boiling in a minute now. But don't be so bold. There's a young one right there in the pond.
Oh, yes. Good morning, Ellie Mae.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Farquhar. Ain't Granny pretty?
Now, Ellie Mae, you stop that.
Well, you are, Granny.
Well, if Mr. Farquhar thinks I'm pretty, he'll say so himself.
Huh? Oh, you are. I certainly can see where Ellie Mae gets her good looks.
You can?
Yes. She's probably one of the most beautiful young ladies I've ever seen.
Thank you.
And that figure.
Now, Mr. Farquhar, you stop that. You'll have me blushing.
Oh, yes.
Now, you run along and get into some clothes.
Yes'm, Granny. See you later, Mr. Farquhar?
Definitely.
Back home in the hills, if a man was to see a girl dressed like that, he'd have to marry her.
That's a fine custom.
I'm glad you think the way we do.
Yes, I do. Granny, could I talk with you a moment?
Why, yes. Sit down.
Thank you. Granny, I know that you have a lot of money. But, are you having any fun with it? I mean, are you happy?
Well, I could be happier. What you got on your mind?
It seems to me that you and I could have a lot of fun. And at our ages, we should take our fun where we find it.
You slobbered a bib full there, Lowell.
What was that?
What were you saying?
Well, if you are willing to take a chance, Granny, it seems to me that...
Yoo-hoo, Daddy!
I'm out up here, daughter. We'll continue this later on in the day, huh?
I see the fire is out.
Just till later in the day.
I warn you, not the fire, Farquhar. Come, Daddy.
Oh, Margaret, I really don't want to go.
Come, Daddy. I marry that man, our daughter's gonna get the paddling of her life. How long you aim to sit here with this gun?
Oh, I don't know. Why?
Well, if somebody was to come calling, you might scare him off. Especially an elderly city fella that's not used to our ways. Somebody in the neighborhood just visiting from out of town.
You mean like Mr. Farquhar?
Now, what made you think of him?
Just a wild guess.
Granny? Granny, I finally got your kindling wood for you. Remember that cider keg I had down the cellar?
Why, there was a good 5 gallons of cider left in that keg.
I know. That's what took me so long. Couldn't let it all go to waste.
Put that keg back together again.
Well, what about the applesauce fire?
Ain't gonna make no applesauce. Now, do as I tell you.
Yes, ma'am.
Not in front of the door. Suppose company was to come.
Like Mr. Farquhar?
Now, who said anything about Mr. Farquhar?
Don't reckon you're all dressed up like that for the trash collector.
You got a big mouth, boy.
Why, thank you. You pretty near got to drink 5 gallons of cider out of a keg.
Hey, everybody, look at this. I learned old Hiram to be a watchdog. Show him what you'll do if a stranger comes around.
What have I done to deserve this?
Well, shucks, Granny. Old Hiram just wants to earn his keep.
Well, get him out of here.
Hear that, Hiram? Go guard the place.
What's the use? Jeb Stewart and his cavalry couldn't get through to me, let alone poor little Mr. Farquhar.
Mr. Farquhar?
I didn't say that. I was just using him as a for instance.
I think Mr. Farquhar's got a case on you, Granny.
Hey, Granny, are you going to marry up with him?
Bet you so. She was sidling up to him like a bird to a honey tree.
Jed, do I have to sit here and listen to this?
Of course not. Now, young'uns, no more talk about Mr. For Instance.
You don't think you're so smart. Well, I have news for you. Somebody's gonna be leaving home soon.
Now, Granny, you ain't leaving home.
You bet I ain't. But you and these big-mouth young'uns is. And you can take that big mouth with you, too.
Do you get the feeling that Granny'd like us to make ourselves scarce?
I don't. She told me to fix this keg. I'm getting a feeling, Uncle Jim.
Let's take a drive into town.
Granny, when do you want us to come back?
I'll call you and let you know.
Well, how will you know where we are?
I'll ask you when I call. You go with them. You want to tangle with me? He's coming. Oh, I look awful. Land sakes, it's still got gravy in it. Why, Mr. Farquhar, what a surprise.
Oh, well, should I have phoned first?
Well, if I knowed you was coming, I'd have fixed up a bit.
Nonsense, you look fine.
Would you like some coffee?
Do you have any tea?
Any kind you can say. Sassafras, horse mint, alfalfa.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with those.
I'll throw together my special mix for you.
Fine, fine. Where is the rest of the family?
Who knows? Out gallivanting as usual.
And you're here all alone, huh?
Oh, I get used to being lonely. Your family kind of loses interest in you when you're over 50. Sit down, Lowell.
Oh, thank you, Granny.
Call me Daisy.
Daisy, I realize we only met yesterday. This is going to seem awfully sudden.
It might not. Try me.
But I sensed immediately that you and I were birds of a feather, both looking for a little excitement in the autumn of our lives.
I hear you talking.
Are you like me, not afraid to take a chance, to gamble a little?
Heck, Fire Lowell, at our age, every day's a gamble. I figure if I wake up in the morning, I'm a winner.
That's the spirit. Daisy, I have a proposal to make.
Yes, Lowell.
You and I could become partners.
Yes.
Put our fortunes together.
Yes.
Go up to Las Vegas.
Yes. Daddy, let him finish.
Don't tell me you're fraternizing.
Oh, Margaret,
He's been a perfect gentleman.
Daddy, come home at once.
But I was invited to have tea.
We can have tea at home.
You gonna let her drag you off like this?
Well, I'm her guest, living under her roof.
Daddy!
We'll continue our discussion later.
Let me call you back, John. My secretary's gone and there's someone in the outer office. Right. Bye.
Oh, hello, Milburn, my boy. How'd you like to play a game of blackjack?
Forget it.
I'll show you the system I'm going to use when I get to Las Vegas.
You can forget that, too, because you're not going to get a dime out of me, not a penny.
Oh, I've got my financing for Las Vegas. A rich widow.
Really?
Yeah, we're forming a partnership.
Ah, good luck.
You don't object?
Why should I? Her money isn't in my bank.
Is it? As a matter of fact, it is.
You don't mean Granny.
Yeah, I call her Daisy. She called me Lowell.
We can help, Uncle Otis.
Wait a minute now, please, Milburn. I'm wearing my best suit.
Hi, Mr. Drysdale. Hey, Pa, look, here's Mr. Farquhar.
Excuse me.
Where? Mr. Clampett, wait. No violence, please. He's going right back to Boston.
Mr. Farquhar?
Yes, I promise you he will never see Granny again.
Well, that's bad news. I just come over here to tell you how pleased I am about him and Granny.
Pleased?
Pleased as punch. I ain't seen Granny so happy since she left the hill.
But he'll spend Granny's money.
Well, good. She sure ain't spending none of it. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to see Mr. Farquhar and try to talk him out of going back to Boston.
Oh, me too. And together we can do it. Oh, I'm so glad you like my father-in-law.
Well, for a fact, what's more important, Granny likes it.
Oh, he's a fine old gentleman. Daddy Farquhar, where are you?
Well, he's in there.
Daddy Farquhar. Mr. Clampett is here to see you. Come out, you darling old man.
You're not angry with me, are you, Mr. Clampett?
Shucks, no. I'm just hoping you won't go back to Boston.
Oh, he won't. He won't. Mr. Clampett knows about you and Granny, and he approves.
You bet I do. Now, why don't you come home with me? I know Granny's looking for you.
Yeah, well, Margaret told me.
I'll take care of Margaret. You go with the money.
Mr. Clamp. Come on, Ellie. We've been looking all over for you, Granny.
Mr. Farquhar, come home with us.
He's waiting in the parlor right now.
I think he's going to ask you for your hand.
I'll lay out your courting dress.
I'll entertain Mr. Farquhar.
I'll stir your applesauce for you.
Just hold everything, everybody. I have decided I ain't gonna marry Mr. Farquhar.
What?
Why not?
'Cause I've come to my senses, that's why not. I've been acting like a bubble-headed schoolgirl. No demand 24 hours. And I was ready to elope with him to Las Vegas. Shame on me.
Ow! Why'd you hit me?
'Cause I'm mad and you're handy.
It's going to be an awful blow to Mr. Farquhar. All the way home, he was talking about going to Las Vegas with you.
Yeah, he said with you behind him there was no limit to what he could do.
He should know better himself, a man of his age. Letting his head be turned by a pretty face.
Well, maybe you ought to postpone it for a while to get to know each other better.
No, it wouldn't work, Ted. I could never get along with that daughter of his. Spiteful woman.
Ow! Well, you can't just let him sit in the parlor and stew.
Well, I'll go talk to him. Stir my sauce, Jethro.
Yes, ma'am.
Want me to lay out your courting dress?
No, Ellie, it's gonna be hard enough on him as it is. No use busting him up altogether. Anxious little fella. He's gonna want to leave on that honeymoon tonight. Sure as shooting.
Oh, here you are.
Lowell, let's make this quick and merciful. I know you're all head up to go, but I can't run off to Las Vegas with you.
Oh. Well, then, supposing I go along without you.
Go without me?
And I can call you every night and tell you how I'm doing.
Lowell, I don't know how you do things in Boston, but from where I come from, you don't phone in your honeymoon.
Honeymoon?
Well, you didn't ask me to go to Las Vegas just to look at the scenery, did you?
No, but...
Well, then start explaining.
Yes, I guess I'd better. Well, you see, Daisy, the last time I was in Las Vegas, I met up with a lot of bad luck, and I thought maybe that it...
All the dad-blame nerve. Wanting me to put up money for his gambling. Got more cheek than a fat hog.
Granny, how'd he take it?
Oh, terrible, Jed. Busted his heart. Left him in there crying his eyes out.
Went hard on him, huh?
He's all tore up.
Granny, I think he done the right thing.
Just hope he don't do nothing foolish. He's awful desperate.
I best go check on him.
Oh, Mr. Clambert, I suppose Granny told you what happened?
Yeah, I reckon you're pretty disappointed.
Yes, I surely am. Mr. Clambert, would you like to go to Las Vegas with me?
No?
I'll find someone.
About as desperate as anybody I ever seen.
Ellie Mae! Ellie Mae! One of you cats has got her kittens in my nightgown drawer. Dad! Dad! Dad!
Matilda, I told you to keep your young'uns in my room. Come on now. I'll help you tote them back.
What's all the commotion, Granny?
I thought you told Ellie to keep her critters outdoors.
I did.
Well, there's a whole cat family bedded down in my chiffonier.
Now, Granny, you sure?
Come see for yourself. They're sleeping on my best nightgowns. I ain't got nothing against cats nor kittens neither. But them nightgowns is for my hope chest.
Hope chest?
Well, like the feller says, no skillet's so battered you can't find a lid for it.
All right, now, Granny, where was it you say you seen them kittens?
Right there before your... It was here. I seen them. A mama cat and 3 young'uns.
Granny, I had a dream like that myself last night. I dreamed about this great big buck deer.
I didn't dream them pussy cats. I seen them.
All right, Granny. Now, why don't you make some coffee, and I'll finish getting dressed, and I'll see you in the kitchen.
I don't see no kittens. Ain't none in here. Just a vision. Hello! I didn't know that was a vision. I swear he had his claws in my leg.
Morning, Granny.
Morning, Jethro.
Where'd all the kittens come from, Granny?
You seen them too?
Sure.
Whole bunch of them?
Yeah.
Different colors?
That's right.
All playing together on the floor?
Yep. Excuse me, Granny. I gotta go get the milk.
You do that, boy, and I'll put the kittens out.
Yes, ma'am.
You're cute little rascals, but you don't belong in the... Oh, no.
Granny, did you get the coffee made?
I started to, Jed, but I figured I'd best put the kittens out first.
More kittens, huh?
You see them, don't you?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Please put them out for me, Jed, whilst I make the coffee.
Oh, I don't think they're going to bother us.
Please, Jed, put them out for me.
Okay.
Cute little things, ain't they?
You're nothing cuter.
I'll be sure you get them all.
I will. Now, you hurry with the coffee. There. I think I got them all. I didn't leave any, did I?
Did you get the cute little striped one?
Yep, got him right here.
Oh, yeah. He's got sharp claws. He was hanging on my leg.
Uh-huh. All right. Here they go. Whoop. Back here. Get out there.
Morning, Daddy. What you doing, Paul?
Oh, I'm putting out the kittens. We had a house full of cats this morning.
Gee, I'm sorry about that, but I just had to fetch him inside last night.
Huh?
What was that? You brung cats into the house?
Now, Granny, please don't get mad.
Mad, I'm gonna kiss you. I thought my load had shifted.
I put him out again just now.
Well, tell me, why did you bring them in last night?
So's they wouldn't get stole.
Stole?
Yes, sir. The fellow on the radio last night said the Beverly Hills folks is being robbed by a cat burglar.
Hey, everybody. The milkman says to be on the lookout for the cat burglar.
Yeah, we were just talking about him.
Boy, I sure hope he comes here. Them cats of Ellie's chased me clean around the house trying to get to this milk.
He hadn't better come here.
Well, we could sure spare a few.
Now, young'uns, there's a right way and a wrong way of getting things, and I don't hold with thieving.
Well, I'm going to set a trap for that rascal just in case.
Reckon he'll show up here, Uncle Jed?
Well, with our bait, I'd say there's a real good chance.
Morning,
Miss Hathaway.
Oh, good morning, Chief. I presume you've heard about the cat burglar?
Yes, it's terrible. I understand he's still at large.
That's right. He's gotten away so far with more than $250,000.
$250,000? I wonder where he banks.
But, Chief, surely you wouldn't...
Oh, I was joking. This man's a real menace. He's got to be stopped.
Well, he's extremely clever. He seems to ferret out the richest homes in the richest neighborhoods.
I know what you're thinking, and have no fear. I personally am going to spend the next few nights at the Clampetts.
Well, that's very brave of you, Chief, but it seems to me the Clampetts are well protected. They have dogs, they have guns, they're alert and utterly fearless.
I know. That's why I'm staying with them.
Well, but surely you're not going to leave your wife alone and unprotected.
Of course not. She's in Boston. If my wife were home, I wouldn't think of leaving the house. That woman could scare away any burglar.
Chief.
Have you ever seen her in curlers with cold cream all over her face?
But if you're going to stay at the Clampetts, who is going to guard your house at night?
I'm glad you asked. Now try and get a little nap during your lunch hour.
Oh, no, I'm not paid for any such hazardous duties.
Relax, I'm not asking you to do anything hazardous. Just be a guest in my beautiful house for a few nights. You know, keep a few lights going.
Well, will there be any extra money involved?
Don't be silly, you can stay there for nothing.
You're all hard, Chief. But if you want my advice, you'll hire someone to guard both places.
Why? You just said the Clampetts were well protected.
So they are, but to any burglar, it's got to look like an ideal setup. They go to bed early, they turn out all the lights, and they are known to have $50 million.
$50 million.
I'll get it, Uncle Jed. Howdy.
Hello, Mr. Clampett.
No, sir. My name's Jethro Bodine.
Oh, well, I'm Mike Wilcox, Sterling Detective Agency.
You're a detective?
That's right.
So am I.
Really?
Well, pretty near the same. I'm a double-knot spy.
Oh, well, say, this is a real honor, Jethro.
Thank you. You on a big case?
Just routine. I've been hired to protect the neighborhood against the cat burglar.
Hey, yeah, we heard about him. Can I help you?
Gee, that's terrific, Jethro, but this is pretty tame stuff for a double-knot spy.
Well, that's okay. I ain't been too busy lately. I ain't had many calls for double-knot spying here in Beverly Hills.
Okay, we'll work together.
Hot dog!
You can start off by showing me around the place.
You don't have to worry about the cat burglar coming around here. We's ready for him.
You are?
Heck yeah! My cousin Ella May set traps all over the place, inside and out.
How about showing them to me? Might give me a few ideas.
Okay. Let's see. I gotta remember where they are. I think the first one's in the kitchen. Follow me. I was wrong. This here's the first one.
Jethro! Get out of my snare!
I didn't get in here on purpose, you dumb old girl. Oh, Mr. Wilcox, this here's my cousin Ellen, and this here's my granny.
Howdy.
How do you do?
Howdy, young feller.
How do you do?
What in tarnation is going on?
Oh, Mr. Wilcox, this here's my Uncle Jet.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you.
Mr. Wilcox here's a detective looking for the cat burglar. I was showing him some of Ellie's traps.
Can you just point to him?
I'll show you the rest of it.
Hey, wait a minute, Ellie! Get me down out of this thing!
Okay, Jethro, just a second.
Granny, you got something for a headache?
So,
Good-looking young fella, ain't he, Granny?
downright handsome what he is.
So when I heard about this cat burglar on the radio, I figured he'd be coming here because we got so many.
So many what?
Cats.
You think the cat burglar...
We think he's lowering a snake's belly in a wagon rut. Like Granny said, if he wants a cat, let him knock at the door and ask.
I see. The whole family.
Oh, yeah. Pa says stealing cats is pretty near worse than being a chicken thief.
I agree.
You like cats, huh?
I love them. That's why I asked for this assignment. I'm going to make sure that the cat burglar gets everything that's coming to him.
Good for you. When he comes here, he's good as caught, because I got traps all over the place.
Just a minute, Ellie Mae. What are you doing?
Well, I'm fixing to show Mr. Wilcox another trap.
I'll do that. I'm the one that's working with him on this case. Now, where is it?
Out yonder in the grass, where that saucer's is sitting. You see, it'll have milk in it, and cats will be drinking out
I'll
of
show
it.
you, Mr. Wilcox.
Be careful, Jethro.
Don't worry. A double knot never gets caught twice. If there's a snare hidden in this grass, I'll... Aha! I found it!
That is a beauty.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Come on.
Well, that's how it works, Mr. Wilcox. Okay, Ellie, you can let me out now. Ellie Mae? Mr. Wilcox! Uncle Jim! Ready? Get ready! I believe this is the only room you ain't had to look at.
And I don't see none of Ellie's traps in here.
Well, she's pretty good at hiding them. Do you mind if I have a closer look?
No, just help yourself. We might be beholden to you for trying to catch that cat burglar.
Well, to me, Mr. Clampett, any man that would steal cats is, well, he's lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut.
I know you young fella, we sure see eye to eye on that. Oh, would you excuse Granny and me for just a minute?
Certainly.
Where's Ellie?
Changing into a dress.
He's gonna get away if she don't get stirred.
I'll stall him. You stir her. So you found that, did you?
Oh, I was just happening to move this.
That's how I happened onto it. But you're wasting your time. I've been 4 years trying to get this radio to work.
Radio?
I have stood here for hours, twisting this little dial. Can't even get static. No wonder they covered it up with this picture. One of these days, I gotta have this fixed.
Oh, Granny, by the way, there is something I ought to warn you about.
What's that?
Well, sometimes these cat burglars take other things.
Really?
Mm.
You reckon they take a possum or two, or maybe a raccoon?
No, what I meant is that sometimes they take valuables, jewelry, even money.
Land sakes. I got all the family jewelry up in my room. Lots of money, too.
In a good, safe place, I hope.
Oh, yeah. I reckon even a cat burglar wouldn't want to go poking through a woman's nightgown drawer.
I'm sure you're right. Well, I've got to be going.
Now, wait a minute. Ellie Mae!
I can't find that girl no place. She ain't in her room.
Well, Mr. Wilcox is going to get away. I mean, he's got to leave.
You called me, Granny?
Yeah. Where you been?
Setting more traps. You want to see them?
Well, I got to report back to headquarters.
Well, maybe Mr. Wilcox can come back here and take supper with us tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could, but I'm going to be pretty busy guarding the neighborhood against the cat burglar.
Well, if he comes here, he's as good as caught. I got a dandy new trap out front.
Well, if we should catch him, where do we get a hold to you? Like you to have the credit?
Oh. Well, I'll...
Yeah! We got him! Jethro, stop springing my trap!
Well, you didn't tell me it was here.
Come on, Granny. If you hold me, I think I can cut him down from the upstairs window.
This is a real beauty. Congratulations, Ellie.
Thank you.
Well, I'll see you around, Jethro. My ride's coming.
Hey, wait a minute. You're going to take me with you, ain't you?
Not this time.
But you said you needed somebody smart.
Yeah, I know.
Well, here I am. Where else are you going to find a fellow with my kind of brain?
I don't know. See you around. Bye, Ellie.
Bye.
Get going. This job is going to be a piece of cake. With nuts.
I got your room all ready for you, Mr. Drysdale. Do you need the loan of a nightshirt?
Well, thank you, Granny, but I brought some things.
That sure is neighborly of you.
Well, you know how it is. With this cat burglar on the prowl, I just feel it's safer here. You know, with me around to help protect the place.
Oh, we're We're being pretty well protected. Ellie's got traps set, and Jethro's out keeping watch.
And there's Mr. Wilcox.
Oh, who's he?
That young, good-looking detective.
Oh, Miss Hathaway must have hired him.
Well, that does it. Time to turn in.
Yeah, come on.
Well, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, way past our bedtime, too. I'm sure it sneaks up on you when you're playing checkers.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay up a little longer.
It's been dark better than an hour.
Well, maybe he's a mite upset on account of the cat burglar. You can stay up as long as you like, Mr. Drysdale. 8, 9 o'clock if you want.
Good night.
See you in the morning.
Mr. Clampett, Granny, wait for me.
Everything's quiet. Let's move in.
Mike, it's too early.
They're asleep. Believe me. Just follow the plan.
Okay.
Jed, hurry up. Come on.
What is it, Granny?
I hear the noise. It's probably the cat burglar.
More than likely a cat. Just found this one in my bed. I don't know how many more Ellie's got stashed around.
This noise came from downstairs, and it was no pussycat neither.
I don't hear nothing.
What y'all doing?
Granny thinks she heard a burglar downstairs.
Want me to go down and grab him?
No, you get back in bed.
I can't. Why not? It's full of cats. Get into my bed. Jed and me's going downstairs and look around. Ain't we, Jed?
Sooner or later. Might as well be now. Look at a lantern. Where's that detective?
He's still trying to get something on that busted radio.
He's opened up the front of it.
That sweet boy. He's fixing it for me.
In the dark.
He wants it to be a surprise. Let's not spoil it.
Thank you. That's mighty nice of him. But he ought to be out looking for the cat burglar. He's liable to lose his job.
Ow!
I got you. Now let's go.
Ow! Ow! Let go!
Pal, Granny, I caught the cat burglar.
Hold on, young fella. Ellie just caught the cat burglar for you.
Forget about that busted radio. You sweet boy.
I caught him dead to rights, Granny. He was opening up your nightgown drawer.
He was.
Yeah. Hilda had her kittens in there again.
Ain't there no place you varmints won't go for cats?
Cats? Take him in tow, Mr. Detective.
You bet I will. You're coming to headquarters, cat burglar.
Did I hear somebody say the cat burglar was caught?
Yep, Ellie nabbed him, and this fine young detective is taking him in.
Well, by George, I had a feeling it'd strike here. That's why I insisted on spending the night.
Hey, everybody, I caught the cat burglar! Mr. Drysdale, I found him skulking around your backyard, so I threw a blanket over him, and here he is.
But Jethro, I caught the cat burglar.
Well, then, who's this?
Miss Lee, you let Jethro carry you all the way to my house. Why didn't you say something?
Chief, you foolish man.
Put her down, Jethro. What were you doing prowling around my yard anyway? You hired a detective.
No, I didn't.
And who are these?
They got away.
Sure thing, huh? Pushover, huh?
Piece of cake.
Huh?
Oh, shut up and quit rocking the net.
Milford, these charity affairs are so thrilling.
Expensive, too.
Oh, Miss Giggler here.
Everyone they could put the bite on.
Here are the Gaylord Diffuse from Pasadena. Yoo-hoo! Rosemary! Isn't she a mess?
The race has started.
Quick, Melvin, let me have the binoculars. Oh, this is terrible.
What?
We're giving a party after the race, and Evelyn and Gladys are wearing identical dresses.
I'll have Mr. Drysdale call the moment he returns. Oh, before you hang up, could I speak to Jethro, please?
Well, he ain't here right now. He's out giving Granny another driving lesson. Yeah, she likes to be able to get around on her own, so she
Hey,
can do...
Pa, I think you better come quick. Granny's headed up the front line.
Oh, you're back, Miss Jean. That's Granny's driving, all right. Granny, are you hurt?
No, I'm all right. Hey, how you getting out? And you call yourself a driving teacher?
Not no more. I'm through. I done give my last driving lessons. Uncle Jed, she's getting worse instead of better.
Where'd you hit the tree?
Out in front of the Drysdales.
It's your fault. You told me to turn around. So I turned around. That's when we walked into the tree.
Granny, I meant turn the car around. She was starting up a one-way street.
You shouldn't have yelled at me with all them cars heading right for us. I'm through risking my life with them contraptions. Too many people on the street driving around that have no business.
That's the truth. Jethro, you need any help getting the truck out of here?
Shucks, no, Uncle Jed. There's only one end of the lift.
Won't Jethro and me to take this tree over to the Drysdales and set it back into the ground?
Yeah, now'd be a good time to do it, too, while they're still at the park looking at the horses.
Horses? Jed, did you say the Drysdales buying a horse?
Well, Miss Jane didn't say nothing about them buying one. She just said they were going out to look at some trotters.
By dingies, that's what I need. A high-stepping trotter and a shiny buggy.
It would be trying to drive that truck. I don't recall ever seeing a buggy in Beverly Hills.
Maybe they're going to make a comeback.
Could be. I've been hearing a lot about there being too many automobiles and how they's causing smog and traffic jams.
And accidents. I seen 3 of them just while I was driving.
Is that a fact?
I was in 2 of them.
It would be a lot safer driving a horse and buggy. 2 heads is always better than one, especially when one belongs to a horse.
I just bet they're going to come back and start. That's why Miss Drysdale's buying one.
Now, hold on. Miss Jane didn't say they was buying one.
I know Miss Drysdale. She's always got to be the first in the neighborhood. Where'd Miss Jane say they was going?
Someplace called Hollywood Park.
That sounds just like the spot where they'd have a barbecue and a horse auction. Let's go.
Now, hold on, Granny. We don't know if they's having a horse auction. Miss Jean said it's Society Day out there, and we sure don't want to get mixed up in that.
Oh, Jed, I feel so grand driving around Beverly Hills in a nice shiny buggy with yeller wheels and black leather seats and a red fringe on the top.
Whoa, Granny. Let me call Miss Jean and see can we get the horse before you start fitting out the buggy.
I want a high stepper with a long silky mane with lots of spirit, a real prancer.
Chief, Mrs. Drysdale?
Miss Hathaway, what are you doing here? Something wrong at the bank?
No, Chief, but Mr. Clampett called.
Something wrong with the Clampetts?
No, Chief.
Then what are you doing at the racetrack on my time?
The nature of Mr. Clampett's call was such that I felt justified in coming here. It seems that Granny is most...
If you 2 are going to discuss those revolting hillbillies, I'm going to the turf club. Where the conversation is on a higher level.
What is it? What about the Clampetts?
Well, it seems the Clampetts want to buy a trotting horse.
What?
Apparently your being here today gave them the idea.
Oh, I knew I shouldn't have come. That wife of mine's to blame.
Now, wait, Chief. The idea has some merit.
Are you off your rocker? Those horses cost a fortune. The idea is to keep their money in my bank, not spend it.
But hear me out.
I'll throw you out! Now you go back there and change your mind and dock yourself all the time you've wasted.
Chief, please. Listen to my thoughts on the matter. Sorry. Actually, the Clampetts purchasing a racehorse may have many advantages, both financial and otherwise.
You're raving.
First of all, it is a capital investment, subject to depreciation and capital gain and loss taxes.
Really?
Yes. Secondly, it ties in with their love of animals, their desire to own livestock.
Yeah.
And it could erase the threat of their moving back to the country.
How?
Well, an occasional visit to the stables might very well satisfy their urge for the rural life.
Yeah. And you're sure of the tax advantages, eh?
I checked with our expert at the bank. And, in addition to all this, it is just possible that their horse might win a vast amount of money.
Terrific! Terrific! Oh, by George, this is one of the best ideas I've ever had.
Congratulations, Chief.
Just doing my job.
Well, let's go down to the stables and buy the most beautiful horse we can find.
Oh, perhaps the Clampetts would like to pick it out themselves.
No. I don't want them to change their minds. I want them to see that horse this afternoon and fall in love with it. Meantime, you make arrangements for boarding it.
Right, Chief.
Oh, by the way, about your coming here, I'm sorry that I yelled at you. In fact, I think you deserve a reward.
Really?
Yes. Just forget about ducking yourself.
Thank you.
How soon do you want me to come back for you, Doc?
Oh, half an hour, 45 minutes. Mr. Drysdale said to give Mr. Clampett a good look at Lady Belle, then we'll take her to the boarding stables.
Howdy. What you got in there?
$30,000 worth of horse flesh.
Hot dog. We's gonna eat tonight. See, fellas, there's a live horse in here. Beauty, too.
Yeah, she's one of the finest in the country. Big money winner at Hollywood Park.
Is that so? I won some money at a park once, shooting them little ducks as they go along. How did you win?
Guessing people's weight.
That's a smart horse.
You're not Mr. Clampett, are you?
No, sir. He's my uncle.
Would you tell him his horse is here?
Is this my Uncle Jed's horse?
Yeah, Mr. Drysdale arranged the purchase.
Boy, wait till Ellie hears about this. She's been wanting a zebra, but this is pretty near as good. Yeah.
Well, he's running around loose.
Maybe they're cleaning his cage.
Jed! Uncle Jed! Uncle Jed!
What is it, boy?
Your horse is here.
Horse?
What horse?
The one from Hollywood Park. The smart one. It's out front right now. I'll go find Ellie.
Jed, you sweet old rascal. You wanted to surprise me.
No, Granny,
Yes, you did, and you're the nicest son-in-law a woman ever had. And I'm going to kiss you.
Well, honestly, must
you
have been
know
Miss
how
Jane.
I like surprises.
Well, no, Granny,
I love you, Jed. You darling man.
Well, you see, I didn't.
And you gonna let me kiss you, or ain't you?
Granny,
You wanted to surprise me, didn't you?
Yeah, now let's go out and look at the horse.
Hey, mister, whose horse?
She belongs to Mr. J.D. Clampett.
Pa bought a horse? Well, she's a beauty. Howdy, girl.
Careful now, she's skittish.
No, she ain't. We's gonna be friends, ain't we? I'll give you carrots and sugar lumps.
You certainly have a way with horses.
I like critters.
I've never seen Lady Belle take to anyone like she has to you.
Oh, Jed, she's a dandy.
Her name's Lady Belle, Granny. Pa, thank you for getting her.
Sure, I'm getting a lot of kissing that ain't rightfully mine. Good chest, don't her?
Mr. Clampett?
Yes, sir.
I'm Doc Pritchett, Lady Belle's handler.
Oh, pleased to meet you. Mighty fine animal.
Oh, thank you. I have some papers here that have to be signed.
Well, come on in the house.
All right.
We's all kind of surprised by this.
Mr. Drysdale made all the arrangements. Got yourself a mighty fine trotter there.
Yes, sir.
Between us, I don't care much about this buggy.
Maybe it's a city-style book.
City or country, there's gotta be a place for the reins. This thing must weigh a ton. Take a plow horse to pull it.
Who's got rubber tires and nice windows.
You don't know how you drive it. There ain't no place to sit down in here. You know what I'd do if this thing was mine? I'd let the horse ride in it.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Clampett.
That's all right.
Come on, Paul. I'll show you her teeth.
Well, Mr. Clampett tells me that Lady Belle is going to be your horse. What do you think of her?
She's fine. But I don't see how she pulls that heavy contraption around.
Oh, she doesn't. She's a sulky horse.
I don't blame her. Where's the rig she likes to pull?
Oh, that's over at the stables, along with the harness and the other equipment.
Well, I'd like to have it.
Up here?
Of course. I want to show off around the neighborhood.
Well, Mr. Drysdale said anything you want. May I use your phone?
Right in the hall. Help yourself.
Granny, I think you're going to be real happy with this mare.
I'll be happier when her buggy gets here. That fella's having her sent up from the stables.
Well, can I ride her out to the gate and back?
Let me have a turn on her first, Ellie. I think I'll gallop by Miss Drysdale's and give her a look.
You want a leg up?
Of course not. I've never needed any help to get on a horse. Just give me a little running room. I'm just as spry as I ever was. Now hold still, Lady Belle.
What could have happened? She's been gone for half an hour.
Nothing to worry about. Granny sits a horse like most folks set a rocker.
Yeah, but Lady Belle isn't a saddle horse.
That's all right. Granny ain't using one.
Excuse me, Mr. Clamp.
Nervous kind of fella. Ought to take up whittling.
Here's your sulky, Doc.
Never mind that. We got to find Lady Belle.
She run off?
She was ridden off. Bareback.
A $30,000 trotter?
Come on, let's go.
Jet? What's this thing?
You reckon it's Granny's buggy?
Well, if it is, most of it's missing.
Come around the yard once, Jethro.
Okay. Hold it, young'uns. Yonder comes Granny.
Whoa, Lady Belle. Whoa, girl. What's that?
I'm afraid that's the buggy the fella promised you.
Jed, it looks like we've been took.
Well, he got shorted a mite on the buggy, but there's nothing wrong with the horse. Is there? What is it?
I must have rode her 10 miles. Used every trick I know. Never could get her to go faster than a trot. Is everything ready, Jed?
Man's got Lady Belle all hitched and harnessed up.
Did they find the back half of the buggy?
Well, now, about that, I'm afraid them fellas at the horse auction see Mr. Drysdale coming.
What you mean?
You wouldn't believe what kind of money he paid for that horse and buggy.
Not more than $100, I hope.
Well, it would top that a little. Gotta remember, he's a city fella, and he thought he was doing us a powerful favor.
Well, let's go look at it.
Well, now, what I wanted to tell you was, Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane just come. And I want you to try extra hard not to act disappointed in front of them.
All right.
Well, Granny, there she is, all decked out and ready to go. How do you like it?
Fine, Mr. Drysdale. Just fine.
The chief made a wonderful purchase, don't you think?
Sure. Sure.
Well, come take a closer look. Sit in the driver's seat. Oh, you'll get a big thrill out of it.
Driver's seat? Where is the rest of you supposed to ride?
We'll take care of it.
Can't even go to the market in that thing. No place to carry your groceries.
I'll fix it for you. Now, come on. Look for some good things to say.
Like what?
What are you thinking, Granny?
Well,
She loves it. I picked a real winner for you, Granny.
you think so?
Oh, yes. You can bring home the bacon with this.
Where?
Where?
There ain't even a place to put your feet.
Say, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane, I just remembered. Granny baked up some special coffee cake to show her appreciation to you folks. Now, Ellie Mae, why don't you take them in the kitchen and serve them up a big helping?
Yes, sir,
Well,
Pop.
I'm not especially hungry.
Neither am I.
You don't want to hurt Granny's feelings, do you?
Oh, no.
How's the set, Granny?
Poor.
Now, don't you worry. Jethro and me will build you a box so you can put your feet and your groceries in.
Uncle Jed, this rig ain't for hauling, it's for racing.
Racing?
Yeah, I was talking to the doc yonder. He says the fella that sold it to Mr. Drysdale didn't do nothing else. Went all around the country racing.
All right, doggies, I'll bet you that's the reason he stripped this buggy down so he'd get as light as he could.
Jed, I like racing as well as the next person. And I even took some things off Pearl's buggy so I could beat Elverna Bradshaw. But this is ridiculous.
Maybe the reason that he had to strip it down special light was because the horse was slow.
Slow?
I couldn't even get her to break into a gallop.
Well, that don't make no sense at all. Doc says Lady Bell was bred and trained for nothing but racing. Been in over hundreds of them.
Reckon it was your setting on her that slowed her?
Could be if she wasn't used to it. Hand me them reins, Jethro. I'll give her another try.
Steve, go to bridle, Doc.
Whoa, Lady Bell. That's a good girl.
Well, Granny, I'll bet you've never driven a horse like that before.
Quite a thrill, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Miss Hathaway, let's go right out to Hollywood Park and enter Lady Bell in tomorrow's big race.
Good.
We'll have our money back the first day.
See you in the winner's circle. Tally ho.
Well, Granny?
Like you said, Jed, they seen Mr. Drysdale coming.
Slow, huh?
A mule skinner couldn't get that turtle to do better than a trot.
Mr. Drysdale, he's already counting the money that Lady Bell's going to win for him tomorrow.
The only way that horse can win a race is setting in the back end of a fast car.
I got one chance. Ellie Mae.
She ain't got a fast car.
Oh, but she's got away with critters.
Forget it.
We got to try for Mr. Drysdale's sake.
How come?
If you knew what he paid for that horse, you wouldn't ask.
Come on, Margaret, let me have the glasses. They're getting ready for the first race.
All right, Milburn, just let me see.
Howdy, folks.
Howdy. Oh, Mr. Clavers, before your box is right behind us.
Oh, thank you.
What are those gentle people doing here?
They happen to own one of the finest trotters in the country.
We're Granny and Ellie Mae.
But Don's talking to the horse.
Here comes Ellie.
Here, Allie, right up here.
Howdy, everybody.
You know, if Granny doesn't hurry, she's going to miss the first race.
Oh, no, she ain't going to miss it. She's going to be in it.
Yonder they come, getting ready to come in.
I don't see Granny or Lady Bell.
She'll be along in a minute.
Yeah, there was a little trouble about getting her started with others.
Yonder she comes.
Now, none of this trotting foolishness, Lady Bell. They got a head start on us. If we's gonna catch them, you gotta run like Ellie learned you. Come on now, get Faster! Do I have to come up there and show you how to run? That's it now! Take after him! Make Ellie proud of you! Come on, you can do it! Please, David, go, girl, go! Pick them up and lay them down!
She caught him. She caught him.
Show me this, Granny. Come on, Granny. Don't fret now, Granny. You done fine. You won fair and square.
come they didn't give me the money? Nor put the flowers on me, nor nothing.
Because she was disqualified.
House rapping. We's proud of you, Granny. You too, Ellie Mae. And you too, Lady Belle. Yeah, Ellie? Ellie Mae Clampett. Why, you're the prettiest thing I ain't never in all my born days. How'd an old mountain goat like me ever get a young'un like you? You're a queen. That's what you are in that shiny dress standing there. You're a queen.
Feel it, Paul. It's slicker than a toad's belly.
I'll get it if it ain't. What kind of dress they call that?
This is what you call a ball gown.
A ball gown. Well, you's even catching on to what this name.
Well, Miss Hathaway, she pinned a piece of paper onto every dress she got me, telling what it was for.
You better tote along the shotgun and keep fellas away.
Oh, I know, Paul. That's what I'm going out for, to meet some fellas.
Hallelujah. You know, you're going to find out something I've been saying is the truth. You don't have to dress up in boys' clothes to have fun with boys.
I'm going to keep my promise, Paul. I ain't going to wear nothing but dresses for 3 whole days.
And I'm going to keep my promise, too. If you don't have just as much fun as you did climbing trees and wrestling, you can go back to wearing your pants and shirt.
Goodbye, Pop.
What you doing? Killing ants?
Hey, this place ain't got no ants.
I'll tell you something else it ain't got. That's me. I'm gonna pack up and go home.
Wait a minute. Hold on there. This is home.
Not to me it ain't. And for my part, they can give Beverly Hills back to the Indians. Or whoever else was fool enough to come here in the first place.
Come on, let's go in here and sit down and we'll talk this whole thing over. You just got your back up because the police made us get rid of all our cows and pigs and chickens and stuff.
Well, that didn't help none. But if they don't allow folks to have stock, why have they got that all-fired fancy stock pen down there?
Well, Granny, it turned out that there was something called a tennis court.
What in tarnation is a tennis?
I don't know, but one of these days we'll get us a pair of them and go to raise them out there.
Well, you go to raising them. I'm going back home, where I can get some good things in life, like hog jowls and possum shank.
Now, hold on, Granny. Jethro's out hunting possums right now.
He won't find none. I've been all over these Beverly Hills, and I tell you it ain't easy. Climbing fences and walls and jumping over hedges to get around those cement ponds where there are a lot of half-naked women laying there smearing themselves with oil and yelling at you to get out, get out. I tell you, Jed, this place is full of the laziest, greasiest, unfriendliest mess of people I ever did lay my eyes on.
Here's Jethro. Hi, boy. What'd you get? I got chased by a fellow with a club.
Now, you hear that, Jed? It says Beverly Hillbillies picking on a little boy like Jed. Come on, Jethro, load up the truck and let's head for home.
Hold on. I think I know what's ailing you two. You're just plain old homesick.
Well, I'm sick of this home, I can tell you that.
Yeah, now I got a surprise. I've been kind of saving. I reckon now's good times any to let the cat out of the bag.
We need pigs and chickens, and he gets us a cat.
Now, that ain't the surprise, Granny. The surprise is Pearl's coming out here.
Ma's coming out here?
Yeah, and she's bringing your sister Jethrine.
Hot diggity dog.
Yeah, I wrote her a letter. I said, Pearl, I says, why don't you come out here and bring Jethrine? We got lots of room and plenty to eat, and we sure is a hanker to see you.
Oh, boy. I gotta get us some possum now. Because if there's one thing Ma and Jethrine likes, it's grits and possum shanks.
You don't look particular cheered up, Granny.
Jed, you might fool that boy with a story like that, but not me.
What do you mean?
Since when can you write letters?
Hold on, Granny. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Granny, I didn't write that letter by hand.
Held the pencil betwixt your toes, did you?
No, I wrote it by a new way. The banker's secretary showed me. It's called dictation.
What's dictation?
Oh, it's wonderful, Granny. You just talk and she writes it down.
She sure must write fast.
Yeah, and with a bad hand, too.
She got a bad hand?
This one, she calls it her shorthand.
I don't care how many letters you dictate, Jed. Pearl ain't a-coming out here. Leastwise, not right now.
Well, sure she is, Granny. She's looking to find a husband for Jethreen.
I'll tell you who Pearl is looking to get a husband for. Pearl. And I think she's got her cap set for that oil man that bought your swamp.
Mr. Brewster? Why, he lives clean over to Tulsa.
Yeah, but pumping oil brings him over to your place. And I'll bet you pigs to polecats that when he shows up, Pearl ain't fur behind.
Of all people, fancy meeting you here. Small world, ain't it?
Yes, it certainly is.
Oh, this here's my daughter, Jethreen. This is Mr. Brewster, dear.
I'm pleased to meet you, young lady.
Hi.
May I give you a hand, Mrs. Bodine?
Oh, thank you. Stay in the buggy, dear.
Careful now. There we are. Well, I see you girls are on your way to a Halloween party.
What kind of party?
Halloween.
What's a Halloween?
You don't celebrate Halloween here in the hills?
Well, I never heard of it. What's it like?
Well, it's an occasion where everyone gets dressed up in their most beautiful clothes.
Oh, these old things. They're just something I threw together myself.
Well, they look like they came from Saks.
Well, they didn't. I made them with store-bought yard goods. Didn't I, Jethreen? Yes, sir.
What brings you girls here on this beautiful Indian summer day?
Following you. we was headed this way anyway. I promised to keep an eye on the old home place for Cousin Jed, remember?
Oh, I hope he won't mind that I had a telephone put in the cabin. You see, we're using it as a sort of a field office.
Oh, but he won't mind. Especially if you would show it to me and I could see for myself that there was no damage done to the cabin.
Well, that's quite all right. Come along, huh?
Stay in the buggy, dear.
Well, perhaps you'd like to stretch your leg.
They're long enough now. Jethreen's awful tall for age. She takes after her father. Her late father, that is. I'm a widow.
Yes, I believe you told me.
Oh, that's right. That's when you told me you was a widower.
Yes.
You, still are, I suppose.
A widower? No, yes.
Stay in the buggy, dear.
Look at that fruit there. Did you ever in your whole born days ever see anything as pretty as that fruit? Don't spoil neither.
Don't taste neither.
Oh, now.
Jethro ate a whole bunch of them grapes. 2 apples, a pear, and a whole handful of strawberries. And he said there wasn't one bit of juice in the whole kit and caboodle of them. He said it was dry as wax.
This is mighty dry and gummy. Maybe you ain't supposed to eat this fruit.
That's the trouble with this miserable place. You ain't supposed to do nothing. You ain't supposed to have cows or pigs or chickens. You ain't supposed to fire up the still and make a little moonshine whiskey. Answer me, what can you do in this Beverly Hills?
Well, you can do lots of things, Granny. Things you couldn't do back home.
Name one.
Well, you can call up your friends on the telephone.
No, you can't.
Why not?
'Cause we ain't got no friends, that's why not. There ain't been one neighbor come a-calling on us since we moved in here.
Oh, so that's what's ailing you. Nobody's been coming to call. Well, now you got to remember what Pearl said. This here is Beverly Hills where the movie stars live.
What's that got to do with it? What's that got to do with being friendly?
Nothing. I just thought it might sidetrack you.
Well, it didn't. Movie stars are people just like us, ain't they?
Yes, if they're prettier. Wouldn't it be worth waiting for if one of these days they come a knock on the door and we go to answer it, we open up the door and standing there would be Mary Pickford.
Mary Pickford?
Yeah, with the golden curls hanging down her back And a pretty little rosebud mouth saying friendly things like, howdy there, I'm Mary Pickford. Oh, you'd say to that?
I'd say, who's Mary Pickford? That's right.
Granny, she's America's sweetheart. You know that movie house where Pearl plays Piano on Saturday nights?
I heard of it.
Well, she says little old Mary is everybody's favorite.
Well, tell me this. If Mary Pickford moved in that little cabin down the creek from us back home, what would we do?
Oh, we'd have gone calling and brought her over a mess of pone and skinned possum.
Yeah. And has Mary Pickford brought us a mess of pone and skinned possum? No, she ain't.
You gotta remember, Granny, she probably spends 4 or 5 hours a day just fooling with and combing that beautiful curls hanging clear down
Uncle Jam!
Well, hello, Jethro. What'd you get this time?
I got arrested. Yeah. Policeman, he took my gun away. He said they don't allow hunting in Beverly Hills.
That does it. That does it.
Then he pointed to old Duke here. He said, that dog had his rabies shot? And I said, no, sir, that dog ain't had nothing shot. I'm careful with a gun. What'd he say? He said, oh, wise guy, huh? So he put Duke and me in his police car. But we jumped out and run. Oh, is Ma and Jeff Reen here yet?
No, and they ain't a-coming. Now, if you want to see your ma and your sis, you pack up that truck, and you and me will skedaddle back home where folks is friendly.
Now, Granny. Oh, God, if she ain't the muleyest little woman. Granny, now, just a minute. Now, Granny, will you just let me say one thing?
Well, you be quick, because I got a long trip ahead of me.
Granny, I know it ain't been easy for you out here. New things is always vexing, especially at your age. But I'm bound and determined to keep this family together. And if you go back to the hills, we's all going with you. I'm asking you, please, to stay. Not for my sake, but for Ellie Mae. Granny, what this place has done for her is a plain miracle. Why, that wild Injun has become a grand lady. I wish you could have seen her go out that door looking like a queen in a picture book. I tell you, I just wanted to sit down and bawl, the way you done when I married her ma. Now, she's just... She's out there now. Not just wait, Granny. Wait till you see. In here, Ellie Mae.
Huh? You sure was right. Oh, Huggy, you don't have to wear boys' clothes to have fun with boys.
Mae, you promised me you wouldn't wrestle.
I ain't been wrestling.
And what have you been doing in your ball gown?
Doing what I'm supposed to do, playing ball. Oh, I made 2 touchdowns and kicked 3 field goals.
This is the phone I was telling you about. It's called a field telephone. Now, with this, I can communicate directly with the men working at the drilling site.
Any young men down there?
Oh, yes.
Any unmarried young men?
I'm sure there are.
Any tall unmarried young men?
Well, they're probably all sizes.
Yeah. Suppose it gets pretty lonesome working down there.
Well, it's very likely. This is rather an isolated area.
Any specially tall, specially lonesome, unmarried young ones?
I don't think I can call any by name, no.
Uh-huh. Well, I was just wondering.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could you tell me where the oil drillers are working today? Well, now. What have we here? Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, and pretty, too. Ooh-wee. I bet you're an armful of mama. I mean it, honey. I like big girls. You just do things to me. You carry me away.
All right.
Hey, what's going on here?
What are you doing?
I'm figuring. And I figure best when I'm fishing.
Ain't no fish in there.
I ain't fishing for fish. I'm fishing for figuring.
Hey, what kind of figuring you fishing for?
I'm fishing to figure how I can get home.
Granny, I've been doing some figuring, too. You know, I think I got it figured out how come the neighbors ain't come to visit us.
I'm listening.
Well, I got it figured. Out here in Beverly Hills, instead of them coming to see us, we go to see them.
How come?
I don't know how come. That's just the way I got it figured.
Mighty convenient figuring.
Granny, it wouldn't do no harm and to give it a try. A lot of things is different out here.
Well, I'll fish on it for a spell.
Well, let's see now. Which neighbor shall we call on first? Mr. Drysdale's off in Boston with his missus, so let's go this way.
If you ask me, let's go back that way.
Now, Granny, you promised. Come on, everybody, let's go.
You reckon they'll give us a mess of pone or something, Pa?
Or maybe some salted down possum.
Probably so lie on us.
I'm not expecting anyone, Agnes.
Oh, it's probably just some children playing trick-or-treat, ma'am.
Howdy, ma'am. We's the Clamptons.
You got something for us?
Yes, bro.
Aren't you rather big for this?
Yes, ma'am, we are. In fact, I don't see how anybody gets through that little door.
Just a minute. Come in. Come in and set a spell, as you folks say up in the hill.
Well, thank you. We got a lot of calls to make. But, this here is Granny.
Howdy.
Hello?
I'm my daughter, Ellie.
Oh.
My nephew, Jethro.
Oh.
And I'm Jed.
Hello, Jed. I'm Agnes. Just call me Aggie.
Mighty nice place you got here, Aggie.
Oh, shucks, 'tain't nothing but a heap of bricks, but we call it home.
Well, sure is nice to meet up with you.
Oh, well, now, wait just a minute. I got something for you. Wait a second. Here you go, Granny, and Ellie, that's you, and Jethro, you and Jeff. There.
Yeah, thank you. That's mighty neighborly of you. And you must come and see us sometime.
Yeah, we'll go hunting together.
Hey, Aggie, you like to play football?
Love it.
Well, there's a whole bunch of fellas that plays in the pasture down the way a piece. And they'd like it just fine if I could bring some more girls along.
Now, don't forget.
Please, can we go out now?
Not yet, children. Not till it gets dark.
Ain't that the most pitiful thing?
Heart-rendering. Just heart-rendering.
Nice-looking woman. Friendly as you please. But them young'uns is the homeliest I ever see.
Wonder she didn't want to come a-calling on us.
Yeah. Reckon I'd stay home, too, if my kids looked like that.
Kid, I ain't never gonna say a bad word about nobody.
I know what you mean. Diggies, every house we went to, they was nice to us, wasn't they?
Sure was, Jed.
Hey, listen, everybody. I got an idea. Let's call up Cousin Pearl and tell her to come on out here.
Uncle Jed, you can't call Ma on the telephone.
Drysdale said we could call anybody we had in mind to.
Well, Ma, she ain't got no telephone at home.
Don't matter. She ain't never home nohow.
The way I look at it, you can't never tell what you can do until you try.
Don't forget to spin the wheel.
Howdy, ma'am. I want to talk to Pearl Bodine back in Oxford.
That's right, operator. J.D. Clampett in Beverly Hills.
Jed's sure gonna be surprised to hear me talking at him on this thing.
Oh, they're ready to make the connection.
Hello? Jed! That you, Jed?
You betcha it is.
Hello, Pearl, you old rascal. What you doing down there?
Hi, all there ain't Pearl. This here's Ellie.
Jethro, talk in a minute, but first I want to say something. You gotta come out here to Beverly Hills and bring Jethrine. If she can't get a husband out here, there ain't no hope. You ain't never seen so many homely young'uns in all your born days.
Uncle Jed? Yeah, boy? I need to talk to you. I got trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Girl trouble.
What kind of girl trouble?
The worst kind. I ain't got one.
Oh, let's sit down, boy. What you hiding behind you there?
This is a picture of you when you was my age.
What you doing with that?
Well, I was hoping it'd jog your memory a mite. Granny says when this picture was took, you was a lady killer, a gas cab.
Well, you know, Granny liked to stretch the truth when, What are you doing?
Notice the resemblance?
What do you want, boy?
I want some advice on how to get girls.
Well, I ain't the one to give you that. I wasn't a lady killer at Cass County.
You wasn't?
No, there's plenty of fellas had me backed off. There was, well, let me see now. There was, Now, you take go. What do you want to know, boy?
I want to know just exactly how you went about getting a girl.
Well, as I recollect, I done my best girl getting on Saturday afternoons.
Yes, sir?
Used to get all slicked up and go into town and stake out a good spot in front of the general store and go to whittling.
Whittling?
Yep. On a long piece of soft pine, just about like that. Of course, out of the corner of my eye, I was watching the girls.
I see.
Right now, let me warn you about something. You got to keep half your mind on your watching and half on your whittling. A little too much of one or the other, and you're liable to lose a girl or a finger. Well, now, I didn't do none of my fancy whittling until I seen a pretty girl come along. Then I would peel off about a foot and a half. I'd peel off about a foot and a half curler, so thin. I'd peel off about a foot and a half curler. You got to remember that I ain't done much girl getting whittling for a number of years.
And then what happened, Uncle Jed?
Then I'd show her a few of my fancy mumbly peg throws, like my 3.5 off the wrist, or my side spinner off the ear, or the nose winder. And while I was doing that, I'd mention the barn dance that night, and before you know it, we was acquainted.
Hot dog!
What was all that for?
He's just full of oats, Granny.
I declare that boy'll eat anything.
He ain't been eating them, he just feels them.
Huh? Jethro says you told him how to get a girl.
Yep.
Well, tell me so's I can get a fella.
Well, I don't think it'll work for a girl, Ellie. You'd best ask Granny how to get a feller.
Well, would you tell me, Granny?
Let me think about it.
Oh, please.
I'm going to do it. I just want to think about it. At my age, you got to take your fun where you find it. Now, as I recollect, us girls used to do our best hunting in front of the general store on a Saturday afternoon.
Well, how come?
'Cause that's where the fellas used to stand and pretend to whittle whilst they watched the girls.
Granny, I ain't never seen fellas whittling in front of stores in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Come to think of it, they probably ain't no boys around today that dumb.
Got my pocket knife ready, Uncle Jed? Uncle Jed, I got plenty of that soft whittling wood you told me to get.
Yeah, now listen, boy, I got some more to tell you.
Shucks, Uncle Jed, you done told me all I need to know. If I go to peeling off them long curls, I got it made. I'm gonna be the lady killer of Beverly Hills.
Granny, I didn't realize the boy was so desperate.
Ellie, too. Or if she ain't, she ought to be. I can't go on telling folks she's 14 forever.
We have got to meet other young'uns. And there's only one sure way to do it, city or country.
A wingding. A wingding?
That's what Mr. Clampett said he wanted, the biggest wingding in town.
Well, don't stand there. Go out and buy it for him.
A wingding is a dance, a party.
Oh, good. You know, I've been wanting to throw a big party for Mr. Clampett, and now that he's paying for it, let's go all out.
Not to be for Mr. Clampett, it's for Ellie and Jethro, so they can meet other young people.
Oh, I see. A party and a dance for young people. Okay, let's give those kids a real thrill. We'll get Guy Lombardo. Swing and Sway with Sammy Kaye.
I'm afraid not.
I got it. Clyde McCoy.
Chief, young people today just aren't dancing to those groups anymore.
Well, what's the matter with these kids today? A bunch of squares?
Hardly, but time marches on, vogues change. Right now, groups like the Beatles are all the rage.
The who?
The Beatles. They're the most popular group in the world. Why, they get as much as $100,000 for one appearance.
They do?
Yes. Last year alone, they made something like $14 million.
Well, let's get them.
For the Clampett party?
No, for depositors.
Getting back to the Clampett wingding.
Just take care of it. Anything they want.
Well, inasmuch as the Clampetts aren't acquainted out here, they've asked me to make arrangements for the music. Now, the Beatles aren't available, but there are groups who have a similar appeal. Herman and the Hermits, Freddie and the Dreamers, the Animals, the Birds. Of course, they probably aren't available on short notice either, but here are some others on my list.
If I paid them 4.5% and loaned it out at 7.5%, no, make that 8. Yes?
For the Clampett wingding, I may be able to get the lizards, the frogs, the termites.
Well, get them. Whatever Granny wants to cook. Oh, I've been doing some figuring. And to help you land that Beatle account, I'll make that a set of dishes for each of them. I'll throw in a bowl of artificial flowers and a plastic meat platter.
Gee, Chief, you've taken all the challenge out of it.
Well, Jethro, glad you're back. What's the matter? You look like somebody dropped a clod in your churn.
Jim, I didn't do no good at all of that whittling. You got no other way of meeting girls?
Matter of fact, I have.
Good.
And fellers, too.
I don't care nothing about them, just girls.
For Ellie Mae. And there's going to be plenty of both. We're going to throw you young'uns a wingding.
Thank you, Pop.
I'm just ashamed not to have done it sooner.
We gonna have lots of victuals and pretty girls?
And music and dancing.
And victuals and pretty girls?
And games and prizes and stuff.
And victuals and pretty girls, huh?
That's our word for it, young'uns. We gonna put the big pot in the little one.
Greetings, all. Holding a family conference, are you?
I was just telling the young'uns about our wingding. Miss Jane's gonna take care of getting the music first.
Who you gonna get, Miss Jane?
Well, I thought I'd spend the evening going to the places frequented by young people and auditioning the various musical groups.
Sound like a dandy idea.
Yes. Of course, it'd be even dandier if I had someone to accompany me.
Well, I'll go.
Well, perhaps.
Speak up, Jethro.
Oh, I don't care if Ellie goes.
Well, I think that Granny's gonna need Ellie to help her in the kitchen tonight. But how about Jethro going?
Jethro? Now, that's a thought, if you'd like to.
Why, he is just squirming to go, ain't you, boy?
Yeah. Splendid, Jethro. I'll pick you up early. That will give us time to catch the lizards, the frogs, the termites, and possibly even the moles.
Thanks, Miss Jane, but you just worry about the music. Granny will take care of the victuals.
Yes. Well, au revoir.
I got a mojo woman, knows everything I do. Oh yeah, I got a mojo woman, knows everything I do. Oh yeah, she got 2 eyes on me, Lord. She got 2 eyes on you. She's going out of Louisiana to get a mojo man. Oh yeah, she's going down to Louisiana
I didn't expect it to be so frantic.
What'd you say?
I hardly think this is suitable to our needs. It's too savage, too primitive. It just won't do. It just grabs it, doesn't it?
Well, I've been looking the place over, and I think that front hall is best for square dancing.
Too bad we ain't got a barn.
Well, once we get it full of corn shucks and hay bales and pumpkins, one thing and another, that front hall's gonna look pretty good.
Well, I sure hope Jethro and Miss Jane find some good music tonight.
Hey, well, where'd you go, Granny?
Well, let's see. They started out at a place called Something to Go-Go.
Well, just so they come up with a good fiddle player.
Don't you walk on by, pretty woman. Don't you make me cry, pretty woman. If that's the way it must be, okay. I guess I'll go on home, it's late. Maybe
Jane?
tomorrow night.
Well, Miss Jane, where are you?
What do I see? Is he coming back to me? Oh, pretty woman.
Might as well give up, Earl. I know it's plumb past daylight, but Jethro is sleeping in this morning.
I gotta say one thing for California, Jed. No matter what time of year, you can always find flowers.
Want me to get these in water for you, Granny?
Please, honey. And then put 'em around in the parlor. 'Cause that's where the old folks are gonna sit tonight while you young'uns are dancing.
Well, ain't you gonna dance?
Of course I am. I'm talking about old folks.
We dug up all the rocking chairs we got, Granny, but they ain't gonna be enough for all the old folks to rock.
Well, I'll pass around my rheumatism medicine. And them that ain't rocking will think they is.
Car left! March!
Halt! Good morning, Granny. Mr. Clampett?
Are you all right?
All right. Do you know what time I got up this morning? 6 o'clock.
Jethro's sleeping in, too.
We all have mornings when we don't feel like getting out of bed.
I feel wonderful. I marched all the way from my house. Well, that's a good 100 yards. I guess I am a little bushed.
You look about the way Jethro did when he dragged in last night.
Yeah, him and Miss Jane was out awful late.
Yeah, the boy was dead on his feet, but he said that they found some mighty fine music for our wingding at that go-go place.
Plenty of young folks, too. Jethro hauled off and invited everybody that was there.
Well, I'm glad to know the music and guests are taken care of. Oh, by the way, did Miss Hathaway mention whether she had located the Beatles? Beatles?
Oh, I hope they ain't got into her garden. Them is the peskiest bugs.
Especially the potato beans.
No. This is a group that sings and plays musical instruments.
The dickens you say?
Oh, yes, they're famous. They appear all over. They make a fabulous amount of money.
Singing Beatles, huh?
Well, let me know if Miss Jane finds them. I'd pay a quarter to see that myself.
No. You're still... They're like... Well, never mind. I saw a picture of them, and I'm still confused.
Jethro, did you get some good music for the wingding?
Did I ever? Wait till you see 'em, Ellie. 4 fellas that really wail.
Well, tell me about it.
You'll meet 'em when I fetch 'em home this evening. Right now I got to go into town and get me some clothes and do something about my hair.
Well, Granny, I'll cut your hair.
Cut it? Gee.
Morning, Mr. Drysdale.
Good morning, Ellie.
Let me get you a cup of coffee.
Oh, thank you.
How about a bowl of... Ellie Mae, there was 3 boxes of flakes in there.
Well, Jethro just finished breakfast.
Well, glad the boy's up. We can go out and get the decorations.
Jethro's gone to town, Pa. Said he'd be back this evening.
This evening? Well, we ain't gonna have time to fetch the trimmings for the hall.
Well, let me take care of that for you, Mr. Clampett.
Well, can you get hay and corn and pumpkins and such?
Anything you want. I'll have it brought in by the truckload.
I'd like some autumn leaves, if it don't cost too much.
Hang the cost. I enjoy spending money on my friends, especially when they can afford it.
It's about time you was getting home.
Well, where'd you get all this stuff?
Never mind. Now get upstairs and change your clothes.
Where's them fellas you was gonna fetch home?
Miss Jane's bringing them. Here, Ellie. There's more on the truck. Granny, you got this place looking like a barn.
No, thanks to you. Now get upstairs and change your clothes. Go on now.
What is it, Ellie?
Well, I ain't sure, Pa. It can't be a fiddle. There ain't no bow with it.
Not a banjo. It ain't round and it ain't got no skin on it.
It's kind of like a guitar, except it ain't holler. It don't hardly make no sound at all.
Reckon this is what the music fellas is gonna play?
I hope not. If your pa calls the dances above a whisper, he'll drown them out.
I'll see what else is on the truck. Doggone that, Jethro.
What's the matter?
Well, he said Miss Jane was fetching fellas. She just drove up with a whole carload of girls.
It was an honest mistake, Ellie. These girls are right, but they dress like fellers.
Greetings, Mr. Clampett. Your wingding musicians are here.
Hey, howdy, young fellas. Lady. Well, welcome, everybody.
These are the Clampetts. These are the enemies.
Howdy.
Hi, how are you?
Did she say they was the enemies? Yes, sir. I'm glad they ain't on our side.
Oh, they have some other things to unload.
Oh, good. Say, excuse me, but do any of you all play the fiddle?
Well, if it's got a beat, we can fake it.
What do you make of it, Jed?
Jethro's got some explaining to do.
What about? How about this, huh?
Boy, have you looked in the mirror?
Why? Is my wig on crooked?
Your head's on crook.
Why'd you get yourself up like that?
Well, this is the way all the fellas looks now.
Heck far, Pa. I ain't gonna have no fun tonight if all the fellas look like girls.
Well, cheer up, Ellie. It might be some sport just sorting them out.
Hello, Granny. I wanted to get by earlier. How's the wingding? Are the young people dancing?
No! They're twitching and jumping like a bunch of worms on a hot rock. No wonder they got long hair. They can't stand still long enough to get it cut.
I hope Mr. Clampett isn't too upset.
No. Jed's finally got him quietened down. He's trying to learn him to square dance.
Wonderful. Let's go see how he's doing.
Right hand, your partner. Left hand. Both hands, your partner. Now you see how easy it is, especially when I call out the moves for you. Now you reckon you can play that Turkey in a Straw tune?
Oh, sure.
Dandy. Let's get going. Believe it or not, they a square dancer.
I'll be in the parlor with a jug and a rocker.
I'm with her.
Ellie?
I'm with them.
Me too, Ellie. Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Good morning, Mr. Clampett. Jethro?
Howdy, Miss Jane.
You're just in time for a doctor's examination.
Doctor's examination?
Twice a year, Granny gives everybody a good going over to see that there's nothing wrong with them.
I'm next, but you can take my turn if you like.
Well, thank you, Jethro, but I just came by to have some paper signed.
Oh, hi, Miss Jane.
Greetings, Ellie.
Oh, just take a seat, Miss Jane. I'll get to you as quick as I can. Come on, Jethro, get a move on.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to take my turn? What about you, Uncle Jess?
Don't keep the doctor waiting, boy.
This apple a day stuff is just talk.
Well, how did your examination go, Ellie?
Oh, just awful, Miss Jane.
Really?
Oh, Granny couldn't find nothing wrong with me. She got all upset.
You sure there's nothing hurting you?
Positive.
I got some dandy salve here.
I don't need it.
Guaranteed to take the soreness out.
Granny, I ain't got nothing that's sore.
Put that on and come back tomorrow.
Mr. Clampett, I think that should do it.
Next! That's you, Jed. Come on.
Well, maybe Miss Jane would like to take my turn.
Well, I'm afraid I have to hurry right back to the office.
All right, I'll squeeze you in ahead of Jed.
I meant I have to get back there immediately. You see, Mr. Drysdale isn't feeling well.
Mr. Drysdale is ailing? Fetch him over.
It's just a cold, Granny, and that's one thing you doctors haven't conquered yet.
What do you mean?
Well, there is no known cure for the common cold.
You mean to tell me that city doctors ain't got no cure for a cold?
Well, they can alleviate the symptoms, but no one has a cure.
Well, Granny has. She's been making it as long as I can remember.
A cold cure?
One spoonful's all it takes.
But the greatest research scientists and doctors in the world have been working on this problem.
Well, tell them to stop it. I come up with a cold cure 45 years ago.
You did?
Well, I thought everybody knew. It was wrote up in the Razorback Hog Breeders' Gazette.
Right on the front page.
Those doctors and scientists don't read that.
How can I get the word to them?
I'll take that up with Mr. Drysdale.
Well, tell him to cheer up. Granny's gonna cure his cold.
Yes, I'll warn... tell him. Bye.
Bye.
He did? Oh, that's good. Bye. I'll have to start mopping up a batch of my cold cure, Jed. Mr. Drysdale's on his way over.
He is?
Yep. The girl said he's going to see the doctor.
All right, Milburn, you can put your coat back on.
Are you through already?
That's right.
What's the verdict?
You have a cold.
I knew that when I came in. Now, what are you going to do for it?
I'm going to recommend that you eat sensibly, drink lots of fluids, get plenty of rest. And in a week or 10 days, you'll be all right.
But wait a minute. Aren't you going to give me a shot of something?
Well, if you insist, I imagine I have some brandy around somewhere.
I mean a shot for my cold, like penicillin.
Brandy will do you just as much good, and it won't hurt.
What kind of a doctor are you?
I am a busy one. Now, I'll see you later.
Roy?
Oh, come on, Milburn. I've told you before there is no cure for the common cold.
Well, then why did you have me come over here?
I didn't. You barged into my waiting room without an appointment.
You certainly got me in here in a hurry.
Of course I did. The way you were coughing and sneezing around my other patients, you were a menace to public health.
What a gift! You haven't done one thing that I couldn't have done myself.
Fine. Next time, save yourself the $10.
Rattlesnake weed. Secret ingredient at 4. Corn squeezins. Ellie, that's the strongest batch I ever made.
It'll cure cold in a hurry, huh?
I mean my corn squeezins. Won't know about my cold cure till it works for a spell.
Look, Granny, it's working now. Leading the hole right through the blanket.
That ain't my cold cure. I forgot to put the cork back in my jug. Where are you, Mr. Drysdale? Mr. Drysdale! Jed, I can't find Mr. Drysdale. You got him upstairs in bed?
No, Granny. It turns out that the doctor he was going to see wasn't you, it was Dr. Clyburn.
Dr. Clyburn, he ain't got no cold cure. He can't even grow hair.
Take that.
That highfalutin society sawbones, he mean-mouthed me, called me a witch doctor, and after I growed a crop of hair on that gourd head of his.
Yeah, but it seems that after a spell, all that new hair fell out.
I just grow it. I ain't got time to garden it.
Where you going?
I'm going down to that Clyburn's office, and I'm going to show him up. I'm going to give Mr. Drysdale my cold cure in front of everybody.
Now, Granny, you don't want to shame a man by out-doctoring him in his own office with his patients looking on. Why, it could cost him his livelihood, break his spirit in the bargain.
Yeah, I reckon you're right, Jed. Us older and wiser doctors should be helping the young'uns. There's a bond among physicians that's bigger than personal feelings.
That's a spirit.
It's a high calling, Jed. The art of healing.
Ain't none higher.
You know, we have to take a pledge to end suffering wherever we find it.
I know.
I'm proud to be a doctor.
And we're proud of you.
Kind of chokes you up, don't it?
Yes, for a fact.
Yeah.
Hot dog, you're out of the kitchen. Now I can eat.
Hold on, boy. You gotta drive me into town.
But Granny, I'm already 2 snacks behind schedule, and I'm starving.
Sorry, boy, this is doctor business.
And nothing comes ahead of ending suffering.
Good, I'm going in the kitchen and end mine.
You can hold out till mealtime and I'll get on this truck.
Okay. What if I pass out at the wheel?
You have a doctor sitting right beside you.
Where y'all go?
Granny's going down to Dr. Clyburn's office.
She is? Hey, Ellie, come on along and watch the fun.
What fun?
Why, the way that rascal mean-mouthed Granny, she's going to turn him every way but loose.
Yeah, he called Granny a voodoo witch doctor.
Said the only medicine she knows is saying spells and sticking pins in dolls.
Then she ought to wear a bone through her hair.
And a shark's tooth necklace.
Toad a shrunk head.
Watching Granny and old Dr. Clyburn tangle is going to be pretty near as much fun as eating.
Now, just a minute.
Hey, Granny, you want me to fetch your shotgun? Or are you going to take him on bare knuckles?
Fetch your shotgun, Ellie.
Well, that's enough. Granny decided to let bygones be bygones. She ain't going down to Dr. Clyburn's toting no shotgun, right, Granny?
That's right. I'm gonna take him on bare knuckles.
Here it is, Granny. Roy S. Clyburn, M.D.
Now, Granny, before you go in there, I want you to promise me again that
Now,
you...
Jed, stop worrying. Now, cool down. I'm here as one doctor helping another to share the fruits of my medical research.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
There's a bond between all us physicians.
Yeah, I know.
It's a high calling.
True.
I'm proud to be one.
Hey, Uncle Jed, if there ain't going to be no scrap, can Ellie and me go get something to eat?
Yeah, this ain't gonna be no fun.
It's going to be better than fun. It's going to be a lesson in folks forgetting their own feelings for the good of mankind. And I want you youngins to see it. Mr. Drysdale must be inside with the doctor.
I'll go take a look. You sit down. Hey, you in there, open up. Please, madam. You ought to wash this window. So dirty I can't hardly see through it.
What did you wish?
Mr. Drysdale in there?
No, he's gone.
Oh, well then you tell Dr. Clyburn that I got something for him.
Did you have an appointment?
No, but he'll be glad to see me.
I'm afraid Dr. Clyburn is booked up for weeks.
Well, I ain't gonna sit here that long. Now you tell him that Dr. Granny is here to give him a cold cure. Interested in stock, are you?
Yes.
Did you ever read the Razorback Hog Breeders Gazette?
No.
My cold cure was on the front page of it. You got a cold?
No.
What's bothering you?
Yes.
From the looks of you, I'd say your gizzard is acting up. Does it hurt you when I poke you?
Here she is, Doctor.
Hello, Roy. Say, I think this fella's got an ailing gizzard. Now, if you're busy, I'll take him in yonder and give him a good going over.
Nurse, show Mr. Parker into examination room B.
Yes, Doctor.
I didn't bring my bag, Roy. I'll have to borrow a few things from you.
You see, young'un? Granny and Dr. Clyburn is working together already. Let this be a lesson to you. If you're big enough to swallow your pride and offer your hand in friendship...
Put me down, you good-headed queen!
Out, all of you, out! Oh, no, not you.
I won't give you my cold cure!
Excuse me, Dr. Clyburn, but I'm disappointed in you. Really? I am for a fact. Like I was just saying to the young'uns, I said, with Granny swallowing her pride and coming forward like she done in the spirit of goodwill, and...
Uncle Jed.
What?
Is the friendship lesson over?
I kind of think it is.
Hot dog! Let's go home and eat.
Jethro, where do you think you're going? There's no medical buildings on this street.
Please, Granny, let's go home and have some victuals. We've been to 6 medical buildings, and not one of them's had a vacancy.
Boy's right, Granny. You just might have to do your doctorate at home.
No! If I'm gonna show up that Clyburn, I gotta have me an office in town.
Hey, Frank, maybe Mr. Drysdale's got an empty office.
Good idea. Turn the truck around.
Excuse me, Chief, the Clampetts are in my office.
Mr. Drysdale! Who's a better doctor, Clyburn or me?
What? You are, Granny.
Clyburn cure a cold?
No.
Can he make medicine better than me?
No.
Has he been doctoring longer than me?
No.
Then can I have an office here in your building?
No.
No.
She means no vacancy. Otherwise, we'd be proud to have you. Proud.
There's a sign downstairs that says the penthouse is for rent.
Can I have it?
No.
No.
She means no problem. Miss Hathaway, see that the penthouse is made ready for the doctor immediately.
But Chief, you got...
Never mind, Miss Jean. Granny knows exactly what she wants. You got a whole family to help her. Come on, Doc.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, I left your cold cure on the truck. But you come up to my office later. You can be my first patient.
Chief, practicing medicine without a license is a criminal offense, and if you rent her an office, that
Relax. She can't practice medicine without patience. So, we'll tell the switchboard operator not to ring, and the elevator operator not to take anyone up.
But
by tonight, Granny will be ready to forget the whole thing and go home. In the meantime, we will have collected the first and last month's rent.
If she does treat a patient, somebody is going to jail.
Oh, stop worrying. Your job will be waiting for you when you get out.
Any patients waiting to see me?
No, ma'am, doctor.
Any appointments?
No, ma'am.
Any emergencies?
No, ma'am.
Has the hospital called?
No, ma'am. Nobody's called and nobody's come. We might as well be sitting home in the root cellar.
Ain't right. Folks are sitting around Clyburn's office suffering. Here I am with 50 years of doctoring behind me. What's that I smell?
I smell it, too. Oh! I got some stuff in the sterilizer. I'll take care of it.
Jethro, I'm going over to Dr. Clyburn's office and fetch back some sick folks.
Okay, Granny. See you later.
I need you to drive me.
I'm sorry, Granny. I got emergency here.
What emergency?
I'm trying to keep from starving to death.
You can eat later. Come on.
But, Granny, I haven't eaten.
Now! And bring my doctor's bag.
Yes, ma'am. I'm coming.
You may go in now. Examination room C. Mr. Booth, I'm afraid the doctor isn't going to have time to see any salesmen today.
Oh, but I have to fly back to San Francisco tonight.
Oh, Miss Murray, would you get me the Henderson x-rays,
Yes,
please?
sir.
Thank you.
Oh, Dr. Clyburn, I'm from Hencal Pharmaceuticals.
Another time, please. I've had a hard day.
But I have this new combiotic.
Another time.
I've been trying to see you for several days.
I'm busy.
But just take a look at my tetracycline combiotic.
I haven't time. Show it to another doctor.
I've been to every doctor in the building. You're the last one.
Then come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow's too late. I'll be gone.
That's your problem.
You poor man. I heard what he said to you, but all doctors are not like him. What is it you wanted to show him?
I have an advanced tetracycline combiotic.
Lord love you. I got something that'll ease your pain. You'll have to come to my office.
I can't come to your office.
Catch him, lunchmouth. There's no time to lose.
What about my case?
I'm taking it.
Dr. Clyburn!
Uh-huh. That little broomstick jockey is practicing medicine. I warned you, Drysdale.
I warned you, Miss Hathaway.
Somebody is in big trouble.
That's you, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, hi, Dr. Clyburn. You want to see Dr. Granny?
You bet I do.
Well, just take a seat. She's busy right now. You too, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane.
You tell her I want to see her, and I mean I want to see her now.
What's all the commotion out here? Oh, it's you. Come to apologize, did you?
I came to see that you go to jail. And all I need is for you to sign a complaint.
Oh, I have no complaint. I've just been made West Coast distributor for the first cold cure in medical history.
You bean brain, there is no cure for the common cold.
Granny's got one.
I don't believe it.
My hand on the book. It ain't failed in 45 years.
Well, Clyburn, wait until the papers get hold of this. Doctor tries to suppress cold cure.
Publicity. She really has an effective cure?
One spoonful's all it takes.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Granny will give up this office, I'll forget about everything that's happened up until now.
It's a deal.
But first of all, I want to find out more about this cold cure.
Come down to my office, Roy.
Yeah. Oh, okay, no problem.
I'll be right with you. Don't forget I have exclusive distribution.
Granny, I apologize. This morning I didn't believe you. Your cold cure really works.
Positively, if you follow directions.
By the way, what are the directions?
Take 1 spoonful of cold cure, eat sensible, get lots of rest, and drink plenty of water.
And in a week or 10 days, your cold will be gone.
A week or 10 days.
That's all it takes.
Ain't failed in 45 years.
Can we go back in your office? I think I'm going to be sick.
Mom! Yeah, Jethro, what?
When that boy gets to going, he's a one-man stampede.
I hope nobody gets in his way.
Ellie Mae! Ellie Mae!
Granny, Jethro come through here?
Granny, did Jet and Jethro come? What in the world? Have you been at your room at his, Mitzi?
That's what I was figuring. Jethro got to going so fast he run clean into the cement pump. Something wrong with Granny?
Well, I hate to tell you this, Jed, but she's stiff as a board.
At this time in the morning? I never knowed Granny to take more than a thimbleful and all. My doggy, she is stiff, isn't she? Granny, I'm ashamed of you.
This here's the letter Jethro dropped when he fell in the cement pond. He says he'll be right in.
Oh, no, he won't. Jethro, you stay out in the sun till you're dry.
What's wrong with Granny?
Go outside and chase Jethro till he gets dry.
Catch him? Can I wrestle him?
No, Ellie, just run him.
What happened? What hit me?
Going liquor, I reckon.
Whoever throwed it at me left it in the jug. Granny, can you walk? Of course I can walk.
Well, then, let's walk over to the table here and sit down while Pearl reads us his letter.
Quit pulling the table away from me.
Granny, you and Miss Drysdale been hitting the juice a little?
Of course not. I never take more than a thimbleful, and you know it.
Granny, Jed, I can't read all the writing because the ink is run. But this letter's from Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, and they's a flying out here.
Well, doggy. You hear that, Granny? Old Lester and Earl's coming out here to see us.
You mean they're coming to see Pearl? Them two always was crazy in love with her.
Oh, Granny, that was a long time ago before they moved to Nashville and become famous.
A man never forgets his first love, Pearl. And you was the first love of both Flatt and Scruggs.
Oh, stop it. I was just a girl, and they was just boys. Big boys, I grant you.
I never seen two big boys crazier in love with one little woman.
They was all scrapping over you.
Or singing to you.
Sometimes they do both. Sing a chorus and then scrap a chorus.
You had their heart melting like hog grease on a hot griddle.
Now stop it. You got me a blushing. I don't want to hear no more about it.
All right, Pearl.
Remember the way they used to serenade me?
Yeah, Lester with his guitar and Earl with his banjo.
Both of them singing love songs till their throats was raw. Pearl, how come you never said yes to one of them fine boys?
I just couldn't decide betwixt them. They both asked me to elope, but I couldn't decide whether to fly with Flatt or strip with Scruggs.
You better decide now. I'll bet that's why they're flying out here, to get your answer.
After all these years? Oh, Granny, don't be ridiculous.
Man never forgets his first love, Pearl.
Pearl, 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 don't give your love to Earl. I've got a horse and mule, 40 acres near a school, and we'll be happy as two boys.
Pearl, 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 come be my loving girl. Don't you marry Lester Flat, he slicks his hair with possum fat. Change her name to Mrs. Earl Scruggs.
Pearl, 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 you'll get no love from Earl. This your man is such a salt. He won't hold you on his lap and let you are an old 5-string banjo.
Pearl, 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 he's nutty as a squirrel. If you'll be Mrs. Scruggs, we will live on kisses and hugs, happy as to...
I think we better stop this song, 'cause yonder comes a wife.
Yeah, they're jealous of Pearl as it is.
Well, they got a reason to be, 'cause I ain't never seen a girl as pretty as Pearl.
Yeah, we had to settle for second best.
Why'd you stop singing, Earl? Yes, what was that song you boys were doing just now?
Just an old tune we used to sing.
Before we met you.
Oh, you're going to use it in your Los Angeles engagement?
Oh, no, I don't think we'd better. Say, Earl, it sure will be nice to see old Jed Clampett again, won't it?
It sure will, Lester.
You know who they can't wait to see again, don't you? Of course, the fabulous Pearl. We'll finally get a look at this raving beauty.
I'm dying to meet her, aren't you?
Can you make out any more of the letter, Pearl?
There's another word coming through. E-N-G-A-G. Engagement.
Granny was right. He's coming for your answer. You got to get engaged to one of them.
Oh, I don't believe it. After all these years. Pearl, you want to take my advice? You marry that little Earl Scruggs.
Don't you do it, Pearl. Take Lester Flat.
I ain't figuring on marrying nobody. Now, let's not have no more of this kind of talk.
Well, Ma, I'm winded, but I'm dry.
Jethro Scruggs. Bodine. Oh, go change your clothes.
Quick as you can, come on in the house and give Granny a hand. She's cooking for the big wingding tonight.
We's having a wingding?
We sure are. Earl Scruggs and Lester Flat's coming to town.
I hear to them, they make records and everything.
Them two learned how to sing and play serenading your Aunt Pearl.
Really? Well, tell me about it, Pa.
Well, your Aunt Pearl was just about your age then. And she favored you a lot, too. Real pretty. Had corn silky hair just like yours. And a beautiful figure. Well, sir, she pretty near drove Lester and Earl out of their banjo-picking minds. Tormented them boys, they finally left the hills and moved to Nashville.
Well, how come Aunt Pearl didn't marry up with one of them?
Couldn't make up her mind, I reckon, but she's going to have to tonight. Them boys are coming out here insisting on an engagement.
That's how come we's having a wingding, huh?
Yeah. Back home, we'd had a barn dance. Trouble is, these Beverly Hills places ain't got no barns.
Well, couldn't we borrow somebody's barn, Pa?
Well, scarce as they are, and us being strangers, it'd be too much to ask. We'll make do, though. I sent Jethro out with a truck to find some hay and some corn shucks and one thing and another and put them in the drawing room.
Reckon he can make it look like a barn?
I told him to do the best he could.
Uncle Jed told me to fix the drawing room up like a barn. I'll see how you like it. You ain't seen nothing yet, Ma. Come on in.
I'm surprised you didn't bring in a mule.
That rascal get out again?
Jethro, you're making me old before my time. How could you bring this livestock into a mansion like this?
It wasn't easy, Ma, but I figured it out. I took the truck up to the front of the mansion and...
You get this livestock out of here and you be quick about it.
But why?
Because I say why. Now get it out, take it back where you got it, and I mean right now.
Well, I'll do my best, Ma, but first I gotta round up that mule and them other pigs.
I should have married Lester Earl. Maybe this wouldn't have happened to me.
This is the special operator. The number you have dialed does not exist.
You sound like the same lady I was talking to before.
Yes, I'm afraid I am.
Well, then you put me through to the same butcher shop I was talking to before. I told that fella to send me a side of pork and some pig's feet for tonight's windig. And it better get here, too, before I... Never mind, honey, it's here. And I gotta say for him, it's fresh.
Oh, there you are, you little rascal. You're going home.
Where you going with that?
I told me to take him back where he come from.
Now, Jeff, don't you go away. I want you to see the rest of my dresses.
Now, Pearl, I ain't no judge of women's clothes.
I need a man's opinion. Listen, Jeff. Mrs. Lester Flat. Mrs. Earl Scruggs. Pearl Flat. Pearl Scruggs. They all sound good, don't they?
Wait for us, driver. Louise, I think we're making a mistake. Lester and Earl will be furious when they find out about this.
Let them be furious. I want to get a look at Pearl before that party tonight. I want to know how I'm going to stack up.
But we've just spent 3 hours at the beauty parlor. You look gorgeous.
So do you. But maybe Pearl looks super gorgeous.
Louise, be sensible. Our husbands knew this woman years and years ago. Do you realize how old she must be by now?
I hear they start very young back in those hills. Now, we've come this far, and I'm not leaving until I've seen Pearl.
But this is going to be very embarrassing. She's going to think we're a couple of snoopy, worried wives.
Aren't we?
Yes, but...
Look, Gladys, if it'll make you feel any better, we won't tell her who we are. We'll say we're a couple of those house-to-house cosmetic saleswomen.
But she'll find out who we are at the party.
Then we'll all have a good laugh over it. Now, come on.
Oh, howdy there, ladies. Come in, come in.
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
We're selling cosmetics.
You're selling what?
Cosmetics. You know, beauty cream, face powder, perfume.
Oh, thank you, ladies, but I never use it.
We sell it to the lady of the house. And we understand a lady named Pearl lives here?
Well, yeah, she sure does.
Dad?
Yeah?
I need your help out in the... Oh, I didn't know you had company.
Are you Pearl?
Please be Pearl.
Well, I ain't. Who are you?
These ladies sells beauty cream, Granny.
Oh, you can see I don't need none. Oh, Jed, I need you.
Well, Pearl will be down directly. She comes down them stairs every 5 minutes wearing a different beautiful gown. She's trying to pick one for the wingding tonight. Take yourself to home.
Howdy. Do y'all think this dress is fancy enough for a wingding?
Well, back to the beauty shop.
Didn't Lester and Earl get here yet?
No, they didn't, and it's coming up for 7.
Well, they better get here quick before Jethro has all the victuals at.
Lester and Earl, it's always wonderful.
Brother, didn't come yet, Pearl.
Well, why'd you call me, Granny?
For you to stop that overgrown young'un of yourn from eating us out of a wingding. He's done gone through my crawdad dip and my pawpaw spread. And right now he's in there tossing down them pickled pig's feet like there was popcorn. Jethro, you come on out here. Now, you better stop him before he gets into the ham hocks and the turnip greens.
Too late.
Them ham hocks sure was good.
Was.
Jethro, did you eat all them ham hocks alone?
No, ma'am. I done like you always told me. I ate the greens, too.
Hi, everybody. I taught Skippy and Ronnie a little trick to do at the wing ding.
Annie Mae, what happened to that pretty dress you was wearing?
Oh, Pa, I can't square dance in that thing. And it ain't good for working with my critters, neither.
Lester and Earl don't get here soon. Our wing ding is gonna fall apart.
I tell you, Earl, I just don't understand it. Their wives spent all afternoon in the beauty shop and then went back again tonight.
That's what we get for marrying city women.
Yeah, I reckon we'll just have to leave the party tonight at 9 o'clock and go pick them up.
I reckon so.
Hey, I've got an idea. Let's surprise old Jed with that song we wrote about.
Your own.
Come on, Skippy. Come on. Jump. Come on. Jump. That's a way. That's a boy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Jump, Albert. Jump. Good doggy. Come on. That's the doggy. Yeah.
It's them! They's here.
That's Lester and Earl, all right.
Not yet, Jed. Let me get upstairs first.
Well, what for, Pearl?
So I can make an entrance.
I've been listening to my story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And one day he was shooting at some food. Up through the ground come a bubbling crude. Oil, that is. Texas tea.
Well, welcome, Earl. Come in. You know Granny and Jethro and his daughter Ellie Mae.
Howdy.
Where'd that song come from y'all was singing out there?
Oh, we wrote it, Jed. We heard about your good luck clean down in Nashville.
Well, doggy. Where's Pearl?
Upstairs waiting.
Come on down, Pearl. Come on down here. Come on, here's Earl and Lester. Come on, we're waiting for you.
Pearl, 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 come let us see our girl. Are you still her Valentine? Do you still look so divine? Come and let us see our darling Pearl.
Lester Flat. Oh, Scruggs, it's so good to see you both.
Listen, everybody, I hope you'll excuse us for coming without wives.
You're excused.
We have a good reason. Of course you do, and we understand, Earl. Let's all relax now and have some good old stomping music and some of Granny's victuals and get acquainted all over again. Come on, let's go in there and get
I
something.
remember how you boys like a nice roast roast. And when you see the beauty I want to forget.
Pearl, just a minute now. I want to talk to you.
Jed, I just can't decide. I like them both.
Well, you better get to liking one better than the other one. There's just too many pretty women out here in Beverly Hills. Now, you take them two come to the door this afternoon selling beauty cream. If Earl and Lester ever gets a look at them, you ain't going to keep them on the string for long.
Now, anytime you want to know where I'm going down the road, get my girl on the line. You find me there most any time. Now, old man Slatty on the farm, from the hog lot to the barn, from the barn to the rail, he made his living by carrying the mail.
Jed, I just made my decision.
Which one, Pearl?
Can't marry neither one of them.
Why not?
Because I'll be busting up one of the most wonderful musical teams in this whole country.
How come you say that?
Because the one that don't get me will be eat up with jealousy and they'll get to fighting like they used to.
Pearl, I believe you're right.
Just let me get up the nerve to tell them because this is going to hurt.
Earl,
I've got a good idea for our Los Angeles engagement.
What's that?
Let's ask Pearl and all the rest of them to square dance on the stage.
That's a great idea.
Pearl, we got something to ask. You know we come all the way out here for an engagement.
Lester, before you go any further, the answer is no.
What?
No to both of you.
But Pearl.
Now, don't beg your boys. This hurts Pearl more than it does you.
Time heals all wounds.
Speaking of time, or we're late. Come on.
We'll be back just as soon as we can make it.
Pearl? They couldn't take it. They run off just like they done 18 years ago.
They left their guitar and their banjo. Don't you think we ought to wait up for them to come back for her?
It might take another 18 years. Let's get to bed.
They ain't come back, Riney. If you could have seen them run out of here when I said no.
Folks, we'd like you to meet our wives, Mrs. Flat, Mrs. Scruggs, Gladys, and Louise.
Howdy.
You see, Pearl, I told you if they ever met them two women, you wouldn't keep them on the string. They married them on the rebound.
Oh, Lester and Earl. I had to settle for second best.
Beverly Hills, puniest greens I ever did see.
What you mumbling about, Granny?
A body can't find no greens in these Beverly Hills. I've been out all morning. All I got was a scraggly handful of rhubarb leaves. That hole might have had 2 bushels. Collard, mustard.
Well, let's simmer down, Granny. Maybe Jethro and me will bring you back some greens from the country today.
Ooh, you going shooting?
Yep, Mr. Drysdale asked Jethro and me to go out with him and another fella.
Hey, what are you going to shoot? Some more of them skeet?
Oh, no. Today we're going to be shooting game.
Oh, praise be. We can use some fresh meat. Try and get a possum or a squirrel.
Well, according to Mr. Drysdale, we're going to be shooting some game called golf.
Intarnation is a golf.
Well, I don't rightly know, Granny, but they must be thicker than crows in a corn patch around here, because Mr. Drysdale says everybody in Beverly Hills shoots them.
I ain't never seen no strange critters running around. They must live in holes in the ground like a gopher.
Yeah, I reckon maybe you're right. Just the other day, I heard him say he shot 9 holes of golf and got 57.
There must be a mess of them to a hole.
Paul, look at all the stuff Mr. Drysdale sent over for you.
What's that, Melanie?
Well, these here's what you call golf bags.
Doggy. Sure is a heap fancier than a gunny sack for toting game.
You know something, Jed? Them golfs must be about gopher size. If Mr. Drysdale can get 57 of them in one of these.
Golfs ain't nothing like gophers, Granny. Them things can fly.
Fly?
Golfs? Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Mr. Drysdale said the fellow we're shooting with today, what's his name again, Ellie?
Oh, Mr. Durocher. Mr. Leo Durocher.
Yeah, well, anyway, he got 4 birdies yesterday.
Golfs must be mighty funny-looking critters. Fly like a bird and live in the ground like a gopher.
Well, Mr. Durocher knows how to get them rascals. He shot 32.
He just ain't in it with Mr. Drysdale. He shot 57.
Well, the only thing I know is that them rascals is sure hard to kill. After you shoot them, you gotta club them.
Dickens, you say?
Why, Granny? The big boxes are just full of golf clubs.
Look at this, Uncle Jed.
That's a wicked-looking knob on this club. You could brain a bear with that.
You think that one's wicked? Look at this one. That knob is solid iron.
Oh, here's something else Mr. Drysdale sent over to us. He said we're supposed to wear these things when we shoots golfs.
All right, doggies, Jethro, them golfs must be the toughest little critters there is. First you shoot them, then you club them, then you stomp them with spikes.
That ain't all. Miss Jane says to me, she says, when your Pa and Jethro go out to shoot, tell them to watch out for the traps.
Traps, too? Ooh, I can't wait to tangle with one of them golfs. For pure scrappiness, they must make a mountain lion look like a pussycat.
That's the truth, Uncle Jed. Why, they come right at you. You gotta dodge them and duck them. We got the fella to show us how.
Who's that?
Mr. DeRocher. Miss Jane says he's a famous Dodger.
Yes, sir. He's so good, he coaches all the other Dodgers.
Well, doggy. I can't wait to meet Mr. DeRocher.
Come on, let's go. Have a little life.
I want to talk to you, kid. Let me ask you something. Why don't you sign with the Dodgers, the happy team, where winning friends is a lot more important than winning ball games?
Yeah, you sure won a lot of friends in San Francisco last season.
Got a great sense of humor, you have. Also a great pitching arm. But what do you say? You ready to sign with us?
Sure.
Great.
As soon as you top the $50,000 bonus offer the Giants made me.
50. Are you still considering the Giants?
Why not?
Why not? You can't pitch in Candlestick Park. That wind will blow you right off the mound.
Don't worry, that $50,000 will hold me down.
You like money, huh?
Love it.
You like golf?
Not as much as money.
Sign with us, and you can have both. You know who I'm playing golf with today?
Who?
Bank president and a millionaire.
So what does that do for me?
What does it do for you? The millionaire, if you sign with us and the millionaire's a Dodger fan, he may set you up in business.
What's his name?
There are so many Dodger fans that are millionaires, I can't keep track of all of them.
I just as soon talk on the golf courses here.
Attaboy.
Sure wish Mr. Drysdale would hurry and pick us up. These clubs is getting awful heavy.
You know something, Jethro? We can tote them clubs in these bags.
They just said them bags was for toting golfs.
Until we get the golf so we can tote the clubs in them.
Golly, Uncle Jed, that's a good idea.
Come on. Funny nobody ever thought of that before.
Paul, Miss Jane just called from the bank. She said Mr. Drysdale couldn't shoot golfs with you today. He's got a big business meeting.
Oh, shucks, I was counting on it.
Me too. Well, I'll tell you what, Jethro, let's load up the truck and we go over there and we shoot some with Mr. DeRocher.
Okay, Uncle Jed.
Now, you tell Granny that I don't know when we get back, but we'll bring her some fresh cut greens.
Okay, Paul.
Howdy there. Is this the place where they shoot the golf?
You fellas gardeners?
Oh, Uncle Jed is. He's the best there is.
Well, Jethro's right-handed, too.
You here to take care of the greens?
As a matter of fact, we did promise to cut some greens, yeah.
Park it around in the back and ask for the greenskeeper.
Thank you very kindly.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jethro, I think you're right about them golfs being birds.
I was?
Yeah, when I come out here, I seen some people take 2 little white eggs out of that hole over yonder.
Well, I hope we get us some.
I think I got this golf shooting figured out, too. I've been watching, and this whole pasture's full of people knocking them little eggs along the ground.
Oh, yeah?
Now, the way I got it figured, when a golf comes out of his hole to get his eggs back, you shoot him.
I think you have got it figured out, Uncle Jed.
Hey, this young fella got himself a whopper, ain't he?
Hey, where'd you get that, little feller?
Mr. DeRocher gave it to me, and he signed it, too.
Is Mr. DeRocher here?
Right over there on that bench. If you ask him, he might give you one, too.
Well, thanks, Sonny. Come on, Jethro.
Great game you arranged, Leo. The bank president canceled, the millionaire didn't show up, and we can't get a caddy.
I talked to the starter. He's going to give us the first 2 that come in.
Look, I gotta catch a plane to San Francisco tonight, Leo.
Look, kid, I told you. Forget about San Francisco. The Dodgers are the greatest...
Mr. DeRocher here?
Right here.
Well, Mr. Drysdale can't come, but me and Jethro would like to go along with you, if that's all right.
Well, it's great. See, I told you we'd get caddies. Now, whose bags are those?
Oh, Mr. Drysdale sent them over.
Look, put them right over there in the rack. Take ours.
Oh, thank you very kindly. That's mighty neighborly of you.
Well, I've seen some seedy-looking caddies in my day. They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel at this club.
Well, let's give them a break. You know, Walshy, I think these fellas could use a few bucks.
All right, I'm game.
Reckon we ought to take our guns, Uncle Jed?
They seem to want us to use their stuff. Reckon we ought to oblige them.
Bump it, mister.
Look, fellas, no talking while he's swinging. Holy cow, what a drive.
All right, just look.
Jed, you reckon it's all right to talk now?
I reckon so. That other fella ain't swinging.
Womp it, Mr. DeRocher!
You'd make a great umpire.
Well, thank you, sir.
Well, I'd appreciate it very much if you'd be quiet while I'm swinging also.
Oh, yes, sir.
Beautiful shot, Leo.
Just luck.
Let's take a card and lose those guys.
Okay, I'm with you.
Master, they're gaining on us.
Boy, if I sink this, I'll birdie the first hole.
A 40-footer? No chance.
No chance. You just watch me, kid. I got the magic touch.
My doggies, we thought we'd lost you.
Yeah, so did we.
You fixing to whomp it again?
Yeah, I'm fixing to whomp it again. Say, you fellas ever caddy before?
No, I don't reckon so.
Have you ever been on a golf course before?
No, sir, but we sure is anxious to learn about it.
You want to learn? Come on with me then, fella. Come on.
Say, mister, could you tell me where I might find some greens?
Well, what do you think you're standing on?
Right here?
Yeah.
My doggies, somebody done cut them so close to the ground, there ain't nothing left.
Greens to eat?
Yeah, I promised Granny I'd bring her home something to cook tonight.
Say, old timer up. How long's it been since you had a decent meal?
I'd say about a week. That's when we had the last of the salted down possum belly.
Have you got the idea? Just stand there quietly and hold the pin, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Saved it for you, Mr. DeRocher.
What do you mean you saved it for me?
If I hadn't have stopped it, it'd have fell right in that little hole there.
Oh, give me that ball.
Oh, take it easy, Leo. Look, these poor guys haven't eaten in a week.
Mr. DeRocher, your golf egg is stuck in the top of that tree yonder.
Well, why don't you two fellas just climb up there and get it out of there?
Ain't no call to do that. Jethro can knock it out for you if we can find something for him to throw.
You mean you can knock that little ball out the top of that tree?
Easy if I could find a rock or something.
Never mind a rock. Here, use this.
Hey, Uncle Jed, it's another one of them big eggs.
Hey, would you hit that golf ball up in that tree?
Hit it? I can't even see it.
I'll knock it down for you, Mr. DeRocher.
Okay. Where'd you learn to throw like that?
Hunting squirrels.
Jethro can knock a squirrel out of a tree clean across his pasture.
Can you throw like that in the level?
What you mean?
Well, could you hit the trunk of that little tree over there?
Whoa. You mean the one with the knot hole in it?
Knot? Oh, yeah, that's the one.
I reckon so.
If he can hit that trunk from this distance, he's got the greatest arm since Satchel Paige.
I'll fling it for you, Mr. DeRocher. Okay. I'll put it right in the knot hole.
How long can you throw like that?
Well, after about 8 or 10 hours, my arm kind of stiffens up, so I have to start throwing with my left. I can throw harder with my right, but my left don't get tired so quick.
Why are you running? Keep right on going to San Francisco.
Here you are, Granny. Oh, that's a good girl.
Granny, Ellie Mae, wait till you hear the news.
Get my greens?
No, but...
Get some golf?
No, but...
I got some of their eggs, Granny. Look at here.
Kind of hard.
The shells is, but maybe they soft inside.
Too hard to crack. I'll have to boil them.
Now, Granny, you come on over here and listen to the news. You too, Ellie Mae.
Well, what is it, Paul?
This boy here is going to be a baseball thrower.
What's a baseball thrower?
That's a feller that throws a baseball.
What's a baseball?
This here is a baseball. They play a game with these things.
Well, how do you play it, Paul?
Well, far as I can figure, you get one of them golf eggs stuck in the top of a tree, and then you knock it out with a series baseball.
Yeah, and then if you knock it down, you get to throw the baseball through a knothole.
That sounds like fun. Can I play too?
Well, now, Ellie, I don't know.
Well, I can throw just as good as Jethro.
Yeah, you can.
She can't either.
Can too!
Now, listen. Now, wait a minute. Let's let Mr. DeRocher decide. He's coming over here in a few minutes with something called a contract for Jethro.
Well, I want one of them contracts too.
Oh, wait. Let's just sit here and wait for Mr. DeRocher.
I thought you said this Jethro was a poor boy.
They must be the caretakers here. They're so poor, I know they haven't eaten in a week.
And he still threw the ball that good.
And fast. If we feed this boy, we're going to have a gorilla to catch him.
They work for bananas. And I think O'Malley would love it.
No, he wouldn't.
Well, Mr. DeRocher.
Mr. Clampett, I want you to meet our general manager, Mr. Bavasi.
Well, howdy. Come in.
In baseball, a pitcher is a fella that throws that there ball.
Well, what do you throw it at, Jethro?
You throw it at a plate.
Bust the plate?
No, Ellie. This kind of plate is made out of wood or something, and it sets in the ground.
Well, you wouldn't get me to eat off of it.
You don't eat off of it, Granny. A feller stands beside it holding a bat.
Bat? Sounds like a game you play in a cave. How do you hold the bat? There's only one way, Ellie. You have to catch that varmint by the end of his wings and spread eagle him so he can't bite you.
No, Granny.
Have you ever been bat bit?
Ma'am, but...
Now, don't tell me about bat biting, boy. I was bat bit before you was born.
These bats don't bite, Granny. They's made out of wood.
Wood bats?
Yes, ma'am. And you don't play baseball in a cave, neither. You play it on a diamond.
A diamond?
Yes, ma'am.
Who told you all this, boy?
Mr. DeRocher.
And you swallowed it.
Well, Granny, he's a coach.
He might be a coach, but if you ask me, he's got a few horses missing.
Come on out to see me in town, everybody. Mr. DeRocher's there. He's got a fella with him named Bavasi.
Who's he, Paul?
Well, he's the general manager of them Dodgers. Mr. DeRocher calls him Buzzy.
Well, if you ask me, Mr. DeRocher is the one that's buzzy.
Are you coming, Granny?
No. I'm going to stay here and do something sensible. I'm going to boil these golf eggs.
You mean to say this entire estate belongs to you?
Sure does.
It's bigger than Dodger Stadium.
Jethro, show Mr. Bavasi how you can throw a baseball.
Oh, just a minute, Leo. These people are pretty prosperous. Let's find out how much money he's going to want.
Money?
Shucks no, Mr. Bavasi. I don't want no money. I just throw for the fun of it.
O'Malley will love you.
Look, Jethro, get back over there about 60 feet. You know, right this side of that wall there, and throw the ball.
Well, there ain't no knotholes around here.
Just pretend that this is a knothole right here, and throw it right in this pocket.
Okay, Mr. DeRocher.
You're going to hurt your hand, Mr. DeRocher?
Not with this mitt on. Watch this, Buzzy. Okay, Jethro. Right in the old knothole. Let's show him the kind of stuff you got.
Looks like he carries his own rosin bag.
Ready, Mr. DeRocher?
Mr. DeRocher.
Mr. Rocher,
You all right?
I'm sorry, Mr. Bavasi. I held back, but I reckon not enough.
Jethro, coaches we got. Pitchers we need. What's all that grease on your hand?
Oh, that there's possum fat. I can't throw straight tall unless I put that on my hands first.
You're kidding.
No, sir. I've been throwing rocks like that since I was this high. Now I can't throw nothing that ain't smeared with possum fat.
Did I hear that right?
You sure did. He can't throw anything that isn't smeared with possum fat.
Look, Buzzy, maybe we can get the commissioner to legalize the possum ball. So long.
Well, where are you going, Mr. DeRocher?
To drown myself.
O'Malley will love you.
I never seen a feller so fond of water as that Mr. Durocher.
Yes, sir, Mr. O'Malley. I'll catch the 5:30 plane to San Francisco. No, don't worry. I won't let that Weston kid sign with the Giants. Bring him back or what? Off the Golden Gate Bridge? But I just got out of the water. Yes, sir. Goodbye.
Gee.
Here you are, Mr. Durocher.
Well,
This soup will warm you up.
Here, have a piece of Granny's cornbread and put hair on your chest.
Yeah. Will it put anything up here?
Hey, it's kind of sparse, ain't it?
Sparse. I've seen more hair grow on a hog's liver.
Hey, this is pretty good. Chicken, isn't it?
You didn't miss it much. Chicken hog. Would you like a golf egg?
A what?
A boiled golf egg. Boiling them made them kind of rubbery. And that yolk is black as coal. Maybe put a lot of salt on it. That'll fix them up fast.
Oh, thanks. I'm not hungry. You suppose my clothes are dry yet?
Well, they ought to be. Jethro and Ellie Mae is running around the block trailing them in the breeze.
Here you are, Mr. DeRocher.
Bone dry. Well, thanks a million. Say, Jethro, are you sure that you can't throw without possum fat?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm positive.
I can throw as good as Jethro without possum fat.
She sure can.
Ellie Mae can outthrow anybody.
Oh, yes, sir. She's got plenty of stuff.
Yeah. We could never hide it under a Dodger uniform.
You come on outside and I'll show you.
Well, I got an hour before my plane. Don't mind if I do play a little catch. All right, Ellie. Aim for the glove.
Here we go again. That man spends more time in the water than a bullfrog.